Good evening, everybody, and welcome into Lancaster Barnstormer Baseball as we are at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Game 2 of this weekend series, Lancaster Barnstormers and the York Revolution. Eric May from BRC 11 sitting in this weekend for Dave Collins, who's the proud papa attending his son's college graduation this weekend, so we wish him all the best. Joined by Andrew Mossbrooks in the booth with me. And Andrew, a good start for the Barnstormers as far as this opening series weekend. They have brought the lumber here early on.
Yeah, they started the season out 1-3, but since have won 4 in a row. Now they're 5-3, and as you mentioned, the lumber, I mean the runs out the wazoo for this team right now. In the last 4 games, they're outscoring opponents 35-14. They've touched double digits 3 times already, 8 games into this very early season. A lot of hits, and it's coming up and down the lineup against this York team last night, opening night here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, and Star Wars night. May the force be with them. It certainly was. 13 runs, including a couple from a few new guys, including Joey Turdoslavich. First 2 pitches he saw in this park, out of there. And that helped this team, of course, secure another big victory. They are rolling right now to start the year.
Yeah, and again, those new faces, you've got to figure they like that short porch in right field, and they took advantage of it. So no doubt Lancaster has opened up. And the thing is, they have played now York already. This is the second series against York in this War of the Roses. Not something that you see this early in the season, but when you get that rivalry, you want to get the upper hand.
And you want to get at that rivalry because they're the defending Atlantic League champions. So you want to show that you're up to snuff with those kinds of teams. And, of course, York has aspirations for getting right back to where they were a year ago. This is the big rivalry for the Barnstormers when it comes to Atlantic League ball. You look at a couple of the other teams, but none closer than the York Revolution. You got a chance to see them what after this weekend will be 7 times already in the young season overall, and plus these guys have seen each other a bunch of times. Tonight's actually the 229th all-time meeting between the two teams. The Revolution actually leading the all-time series 119-109, but you look at the beginning of the year and you started out with that 4-game swing in York. They lost 3 of 4. You didn't want to start the year off like that. There were a couple of games where they blew a couple of leads there. York's pitching got to them pretty good as well. And you want to get back at that. So it started with that 3-game swing in Southern Maryland against the Blue Crabs. Barnstormers absolutely dominated, and they carried that with them against the Revs last night. Great pitching as well. Sometimes that's your best offensive weapon is good defense, right? And now you get a chance to come over here. This is game 2 of 3. Make sure you guarantee a series win with a victory tonight, and, of course, have the opportunity to see Nate Reed on the mound tonight. Very solid pitcher, has a good track record of success as well. Hopefully he can bring that with him here on Saturday.
Well, as you mentioned, offensively they've done a really nice job. If they can get the pitching tonight, because York has struggled the last 8 games to hitting just .240 as a team. So if they can keep the offensive production up and get good, solid pitching from Nate Reed tonight, could look good for Lancaster in this game 2 of this opening weekend series here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. We're going to step aside when we come back. It's the Gawkin Hours Home Appliance Dugout Report. That's up next on Lancaster Barnstormers Baseball on Lancaster's YouTube channel.
For tonight's honorary first Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
Hi everyone, Adam Gochnauer here for Gochnauer Appliances in East Petersburg. We are as excited as you that it's baseball season, and we are thrilled to once again be partnering with your Lancaster Barnstormers. We are also excited this season to introduce some awesome new appliance colors on display now. Come and see the new colors of slate, black stainless, and black slate. These colors will give your kitchen a great look, and of course all of them are at the best prices around now at Gochnauer's. I'll be back after the break to tell you about our special Barnstormers summer promotions.
Back with the Gochenauer's Home Appliance Dugout Report. Joining with me, Darian Sanford, Lancaster Barnstormer center fielder. First of all, Darian, welcome back to Lancaster.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be back.
Obviously, you got the call last year. You got to go up into the Major League affiliate with the Nationals. Explain the experience you had last year.
Well, starting off here, it was great. That's why I decided to come back, and then just going to Harrisburg, which was like 30 minutes down the road. So it was, I saw a lot of the same fans day in and day out. So the Nationals welcomed me with open arms. They gave me opportunity to play and do what I can do. When I first got there, it didn't stay that way. So I was happy to come back to Lancaster, and hopefully I can put us more numbers and help us win the championship.
Now, I know this sounds like a simple question, but people will say baseball is baseball. But how is the level of play from Lancaster up to Harrisburg?
I'll say about the same. I think you have more major league guys here compared to Harrisburg. There's a lot of more younger guys and guys who are just getting to AA. Compared to here, when you have a lot of big league pitchers and a lot of guys who are in AAA and stuff like that. Like this league has a lot. I think this league has a lot more guys that go straight to the big leagues compared to AA. When a lot of younger guys are just there and have velo and not great control like they do here. So I think as far as baseball wise, pretty much the same to me. So
off to a good start again this year, and not typically you see a guy out of a leadoff spot picking up a lot of RBIs, but that says a lot about this lineup.
Oh yeah, especially having Rico in front of me, who's batting almost 500 now. He's always on base and always on third base. I'm hitting, so right now I just have to make contact, and he's going to score. And I've just been in a good position when I line up. Everybody's been getting on base, and we've just been a lot more aggressive this year as far as with runners in scoring position. I don't really take the mean pitches with guys in scoring position. I've been able to put some good swings on the ball and get some hits.
Now it's early in the season, but how can you compare this year's team to what you experienced last year with Lancaster?
This year I think we are a lot more athletic than we were last year. We have about six guys who can run. So it's almost like you can't take a break with our lineup, because if you do, then we have power guys, and if our power guys are struggling, then we have speed guys who get on base and cause havoc. And if our big guys are in slumps, we get them some fastballs and they get back up on it pretty quickly.
So you really find that something like this is hitting is contagious, where one guy hits, everybody else seems to pick up on it as well?
Yeah, definitely. That's why I try to start the game myself. Just making hard contact, whether I make it out or not. If I can make hard contact, I think it kind of falls down to the rest of the lineup when everybody else starts making hard contact, and it helps the hitters, and it helps against the opposing pitcher, because if you feel like all of these guys making hard contact, he starts to think about different pitches and get out of his game. So if I get him out of his game, helps the team win. So that's my main thing right there.
And obviously, you can get him out of his game. You get on base and you steal a couple of bases.
Yeah, when I get on base, my goal is to get to third base as quick as possible. And the only way you're going to throw me out, it has to be a perfect throw, and the pitcher has to be quick. So the pitcher's not quick, I'm taking that bag. So.
Now, so when you're on base, is it pretty much your call, or are you getting a call from Ross?
Oh no, when I get on base, it's my call. Basically, I've been stealing bases for a long time, so it's an art that I kind of work on every year. And when I get on base, it's more of if you have to stop me. So if you stop me once, I'm gonna keep going until you stop me multiple times. So luckily, I haven't had that problem, but I'm an aggressive base runner, and it runs off into the team because everybody becomes aggressive, and that's why you see it. I stealing bases and I runs. We score a lot of runs because we get a lot of guys on third base and second base with less than 2 hours.
Yeah, this team is definitely built for speed this year. Now, the thing is, when you're on base, then how long does it take for you to kind of pick up on a pitcher's motion to either first or home plate?
Usually by the pitch. With our new video guy, Dave, he comes in, has video on all the pitches that we face every game. So usually before the game, I watch, see how their pickoff moves are, or if they're quick to the plate. Because usually they try to do something different with guys like me and Rico on base. But other than that, just get on base and run. That's what Ross told me to do.
Darian, thank you very much. Have a great season.
Okay, no problem. Thanks a lot.
All right, Darian Sanford. And this, the Gockenauer's Home Appliance Dugout Report. We'll step aside, back with the starting lineups right after this.
Adam Gockenauer back with you again to tell you that we are back this season with Weber Gas Grills. We have the best selection and prices in the area on Weber, and if you mention this ad, you will receive 10% off all in-stock Weber accessories. Don't forget, we also fill your propane tanks here at the store. Don't waste money on exchanges when you can have us fill your tank and save you money. We are your appliance and gas grill headquarters. Come see us today on Main Street in East Petersburg or on the web at Gockenauers.com.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like Word Search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
And the starting lineups here tonight in Game 2 of this 3-game series for the York Revolution, coming in with a record of 4-4. Jared Mitchell will lead off. He is in right field. Travis Witherspoon, the former Barnstormer, he is in center field hitting second. Zach Wilson, the third baseman, hits third. Michael Burgess is batting cleanup. He is at first base. Luis Cruz catching and hitting fifth. Jose Tabata in left field hits sixth. Ruby Silva, the second baseman, hits seventh. Ryan Dent is the shortstop, hitting number 8. And Tyler Clark, another former Barnstormer, is the designated hitter and batting number 9. Pitching tonight for the York Revolution is Dominic Severino, a 6'2", 220-pound right-hander. And for the Lancaster Barnstormers, they'll go like this. Darian Sanford will lead off in center field. Tyler Bortnick, the third baseman, hits second. Blake Galen is the designated hitter, batting third. Joey Tardoslavich, the first baseman, with the big night last night, batting cleanup. Ryan Castillo behind the plate, catching and hitting fifth. Trayvon Robinson, the right fielder, hits sixth. Keenan Walker in left field hits seventh. Vladimir Frias is at shortstop, hitting eighth. And Rico Noel is at second base, batting number 9. On the mound tonight, left-hander Nate Reed for the Barnstormers. Reed picked up a win in his first outing last weekend, I should say, at York, a 14-4 win. He allowed 5 hits and 2 runs in 5 innings of work, struck out 2 and walked 2. In his career as a Barnstormer, 5-3 against the York Revolution. Reed is in his 4th season with Lancaster and his 5th in the Atlantic League. Coincidentally, that other season was with the York Revolution, and his record as a Barnstormer right now stands at 17-2. 16.
And also with that lineup, just want to point out, Keenan Walker and Trayvon Robinson, this is going to be, for both of them, their first starts this season in left and right, respectively. You certainly hope that that does nothing to do with their plate approach. Trayvon Robinson reaching base safely in all of his games, and over the last 4, he's 5 for 14, so he's been hot. We knew this going into the season. He was such a good player for them in 2017. But a couple of position changes in the outfield. Again, hope that doesn't change any of their plate approaches, because they've been hitting well, as we talked about earlier.
Well, Darian Sanford knows the park. Trayvon Robinson knows the park. The tricky one is in right field. That short porch, it's only 300 feet to the wall. The wall 17 feet high, so you got to get acclimated to that. But again, Trayvon Robinson spending his season here in Lancaster last year. And, and I'm going through this lineup, and I mentioned it in the interview with Darian Sanford. You go through the lineup, speed, power, power and speed, power, speed. It's like this team is built to score a lot of runs.
Yeah, and they're built to win, right? Darian Sanford, he's extremely confident. You can hear it in the interview, too. And why not? I mean, he also has been on base in all their games so far this season. He's had at least an RBI in 5 of the first 6 games of the year. This team is built to win. This team is built to hit. Some teams are going to have a different approach, and some clubhouses believe it's best to build from the mound out. You want to get your pitchers. You want to have that stability there. And I think the Barnstormers have a little bit of that. Certainly they have it with Reed on the mound tonight, but their hitters can play. They can hit hard balls. They can hit on the ground and get guys on base. That's another important aspect. And you mentioned speed, and Sanford, one of those guys, talking about it on the in the pregame show here. He gets on first, he's going to try and get all the way over to third. So, and he's been able to prove in the past that he can do those kinds of things. So, this team is one of those teams you have to be careful of your York. You have to be careful when approaching them at the plate, and then you have to keep your eyes in the back of your head when they're on the base paths, because they can be deadly there.
Yeah, and no doubt the guys that were here in Lancaster last year, kind of a bitter taste in their mouth, because they ended the season at 76 and 64, ended up in second place in both halves of the division, despite having one of the best records in the Atlantic League, so they missed out on the playoffs. I think for those guys that were here last year, they want to take that next step and get into the postseason. And for the new guys, hey, not a better environment than postseason baseball.
Yeah, and it was last year, the midway point of the season, Freedom Division against, I think, the Blue Crabs, if I'm not mistaken, that they had an opportunity. If they would have won that game, they would have clinched a playoff spot. And they didn't do that. And then it came down to this team, the York Revolution, last year, where they needed to win all 3 games in the final set of the year. They weren't able to do that. So that kind of heartbreak with a team like this that has a lot of guys that are coming back, that's remembered. That's something they hone in on. And in the offseason, maybe you don't think about it as much, but certainly when you get back to the diamond here, you're thinking about it more. This team wants to win. This team wants to be in the postseason. It's already begun, that long journey that is the baseball season, and they have to keep things going tonight against the Revolution.
Well, right now they open up the game tonight, 2.5 games behind the Sugarland Skeeters in the Freedom Division, who are off to a tremendous start at 7-0. So as well as Lancaster has been playing, they are standing behind the Sugarland Skeeters, but still so early in the season, no need to push a panic button whatsoever. So players are ready to take the field, and we'll be ready for baseball. So we'll step aside. We'll get back for the first pitch. It's Lancaster Barnstormers baseball on Lancaster's YouTube channel.
Close to the Barnstormers family.
Celebrate the history of our national pastime at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. See priceless treasures that will bring your baseball memories to life. Find stories that will inspire and surprise. Cooperstown is where you, your family, and your friends can relive baseball's greatest moments in honor of the all-time greats of the game. See all that the Hall of Fame and Museum has to offer and plan your family visit today at baseballhall.org.
And now please remove your hats and join us as we honor America with our national anthem performed this evening by Bryn Updegraff and Alicia Montano. Thank you, Bryn and Alicia.
And so we are set for Lancaster Barnstormer baseball.
Tell you what, we got a really nice crowd on hand tonight.
Yeah, well, and again, Saturdays are always a big draw. Fireworks last night in more ways than one for Lancaster.
Yes.
With all those home runs and runs scored, but always a big night as far as the fans are concerned. And plenty of things to do for the fans throughout the season. Of course, we'll keep you updated on what is available to the fans this season here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. So Nate Reed, Berks County native, ready to finish his warm-up tosses.
Yeah, and he's a guy that can control that fastball, too, and if he's able to locate it, there's a good amount of movement on it, too. If you've watched some of the past games, he can do that, and that's going to be one of those things he's going to try and deceive the Revolution. And here's another thing, to the amateur eye, when you see the score from last night and you put up 13 runs against the team, you think it's going to be like that all series long. Not the case. In some ways, I think the momentum almost swings to the team that lost that game because there's so much pressure and so much want to get back at the team that just destroyed you and show that you can compete. And, of course, we know this team very well can. It's the defending Atlantic League champions.
Reed is only one of 6 pitchers to have multiple-digit strikeout games as a Barnstormer. In fact, he hit 12 twice in his career. And he is working his way up the ladder as far as the record books here in the Lancaster Barnstormers organization. In these 37 2/3 innings of work to catch John Halama to reach the number 5 spot on the all-time list. And he ranks 4th in Barnstormers history with 249 strikeouts. He is just 76 shy to reach Ross Peoples' mark, and he has the franchise record. So if Nate Reed pitches well enough and then remains a Barnstormer through the season, very much attainable number there as far as the strikeouts are concerned.
Wonder if he and Ross talk about that ever. I'm chasing you, buddy.
But I'm sure Ross will probably be the first one to acknowledge him and grade him and congratulate him. So here we go. First batter of the ball game, Jared Mitchell against Nate Reed. And he looks at strike one. Our home plate umpire is Jorge Tehran. Doug McFarling on the first base line and Manolo Alejandro on the third base line. A ball and a strike to Jared Mitchell, who started the season with a bang for the Revolution, hitting a leadoff home run in the first inning on opening night. Check swing and the appeal, he did not go.
Don't forget that home run came against the Lancaster Barnstormers. So took 3 of 4 games in York over the Barnstormers. Since then, Lancaster's won 4 in a row now, so things going well.
Reed with the 2-1, jammed him inside. He fouls it towards the Lancaster dugout to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mitchell entering his 9th pro season and 3rd in the Atlantic League and his 3rd season with York.
Yeah, struggling early on though, just batting 160 and out of the leadoff spot. A little surprising that they've kept them. They've kept him there.
2-2 pitch, and that one bounces up there. So the count will go full at 3-2. Just to answer your question, maybe why do you keep him up there? Well, he ranks 5th all time in stolen bases for the Revs. So that's the guy you get on base.
That's the proof, yeah.
Kind of the approach Sanford's going to take and get on and run. Well, and he will draw a leadoff walk.
There it is.
So Mitchell starts the ball game off for the base on balls. And that'll bring up center fielder Travis Witherspoon, a familiar name as far as the Barnstormers is concerned. Spent some time here in Lancaster.
And you mentioned about Mitchell just getting on base and maybe his batting average not up to par. I remember last year talking to compare that with the MLB, Jose Reyes on the New York Mets. He was doing the same thing, wasn't a big hitter, but when he got on base, boy, could he still run.
First pitch to Witherspoon is over for a strike. Witherspoon early on hitting .296, 3 runs batted in.
Nice weather for a baseball game. A little bit of wind.
Yeah.
It's better than what we had a couple weeks ago before the season started. It was 40 degrees here.
Almost anything was better than that.
Surprised we're not wearing winter coats right now.
Another throw to first, so they're definitely keeping an eye on Jared Mitchell at first base. Witherspoon last year hit .275 with 8 home runs. Knocked in 48. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes on Witherspoon.
I think in an 0-2 count here, you want to keep an eye on Mitchell. He might run on this one. We'll see. Taking his lead right now.
0-2, and that's fouled off on the right side. Count holds, no balls and 2 strikes. Witherspoon, drafted in the 12th round of the 2009 draft by the Los Angeles Angels. Just missing off the outside corner. Ball and 2 strikes. Witherspoon got as high as AA in his career. Pickoff gets away from Tudlatovich, and Jared Mitchell will go to second base.
Are they going to charge that an error to Reed? Or is that going to be on the first base for a catching error?
Good question.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And, you know, a lot of people will say that throw over to first is one of the most annoying things to watch in baseball.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll do it 5 or 6 times and you think nothing ever happens. Well, right there, something did.
So a ball and 2 strikes on Witherspoon. Fly ball center field, pretty well hit. Sanford long run, still going back on the track, makes the basket catch. Tagging at second is Mitchell. He'll advance on to third. And that is the advantage of having wheels like Darian Sanford. He was able to track that one down on that long fly ball. And now Jared Mitchell stands at third base with 1 out. And Zach Wilson, the Rev first baseman, will step to the plate. Off to a pretty good start, hitting at .346, 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. Reed goes upstairs with a fastball that Wilson can't catch up with. 0-1.
There's that fastball again, and he wants to establish that early in this game here. Catch hitters off.
And quickly, Reed in front of Wilson. No balls and 2 strikes.
And here's where you have to be careful because you really want to try and get a strikeout here. Don't let the ball get in play. Got a runner on third.
0-2, grounded right back to Reed, and they got Mitchell in a rundown, and they'll apply the tag.
That'll work.
So Mitchell off on contact. Well, once he committed, he was hung out to dry, and Nate Reed able to run him down and force out Mitchell at the plate. A huge out for Nate Reed here in the first inning.
Well, I just said you don't want to let that ball get into play, but Reed had control of it right off the mound, and that's great when your pitcher can help on the defensive side of things. And the Barnstormers avoid going down early here.
Wasn't a strikeout, but the next best thing.
Yep, fielder's choice worked out for him.
And so with 2 outs in the inning, and Wilson now at first, here is Michael Burgess, the first baseman. And the pitch down and in, ball 1 to Burgess. Burgess off to a rough start this season, hitting 190. Does have 2 home runs. He's knocked in 3.
And he's a power hitter, so sometimes those averages can be a little deceiving. You put a ball over the plate, you can see it.
Well, those 2 home runs coincidentally came last night.
Yep.
In the series opener.
So if there was any bright spot for this team, he was it.
1-1, over for a strike. 1-2. Not a big lead at first for Zach Wilson. Swing and a miss. Burgess down on strikes. So Nate Reed gets out of a little early first inning jam for York in the first. No runs, no hits, a Lancaster error, and 1 runner left on base. Through a half inning, York nothing. Lancaster coming to bat.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Barnstormers coming to bat here in the home half of the first inning. Darian Sanford, Tyler Bortnick, Blake Galen against Dominic Severino, who is entering his second pro season and the second in the Atlantic League. His first year with York as he was acquired in the second round as the Bridgeport Bluefish dispersed after last season. Sanford squares the bunt, takes a strike, 0-1.
Sanford, a big reason why they didn't get a run across. Yeah. Out to the warning track in center. Off that deep fly ball by Witherspoon.
.419 average early on for Sanford.
And he's hitting every game so far, reaching base in all of them. He's been red hot for this team. We talk about speed, too. So not only can he hit, not only can he get on base, but then he can run, too. We talked about it during our pregame show today with him.
0-2 pitch, sails high, 1-2.
And he says, if I'm going to get on base, I'm going to get to third base. I'm not going to stop unless you stop me. And you're going to have to stop me multiple times when you keep going at it.
And we saw that numerous times last year. 0-2 pitch, flips it up in the air to shortstop. Ryan Dent, easy play, will squeeze it for out number 1.
Number 16, the third baseman, Tyler Bortnick.
So with one down, here's third baseman Tyler Bortnick. Seasoned veteran. Right now hitting at 185. Has a home run and 7 runs batted in. Takes the first pitch up and in for ball 1.
And last season when he was with Somerset, he ended up going 4 for 4 against York on the first game of the season. So he has some history with success against this team.
Coming off a rough road trip when he was just 4 for 25. But he did knock in 6 runs. 1-1 pitch bounces up there. 2-1 to Tyler Bortnick. Last year, Bortnick opened up the season with the Somerset Patriots. And then his contract was purchased by the Milwaukee Brewers on July 15th. And at that time, he split his time between Class AA Biloxi and Class AAA Colorado Springs. Able to foul that one off and stay alive at
And he
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Batted .280 with the Barnstormers back in 2015 as well. Also had some success against the Bridgeport Bluefish. And this guy's been around a while. He's played a lot of Atlantic League baseball as well.
Broken bat in front of the mound. Severino will field it and throw out Bortnick for out number 2. Well, that thing just shattered.
Yeah, right in front of the plate. And the ball didn't go far. About 10, 15 feet in front of the catcher. And now they're taking a look.
I don't know if a piece of that might have hit Severino
I
on
think
his
it
right
did.
shin.
He seems okay, though. They had the athletic trainer come out. Severino shakes it off. So I guess all is well.
So 2 down in the inning, and here's Blake Galen, the designated hitter, and this guy just keeps adding his name to more and more records in the Lancaster Barnstormers record book. Hitting .333 early in the season. Has not hit a home run yet, has knocked in 9, but he has reached safely in all 8 games. Back getting on base 19 times. He pops this one up behind the plate. Cruz over by the wall, and it lands in the first row.
Galen, a former 2-time All-Star in the Atlantic League as well, so he also been around, and this is his 4th or 5th year. Actually, he's been with the Lancaster Barnstormers much longer than that, going back to 2012. Monstrous year he had then, and last year was his best year since, batting .323, but back in 2012 he batted .338.
Breaking ball over for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Blake Galen. This guy has played at just about every level except the major leagues. That one bouncing up there, including playing for Team Israel in the World Baseball Classic.
That tells you he's a veteran guy.
Yeah. .33-year-old out of Chatsworth, California, and a definite fan favorite here in Lancaster.
Well, they had to call time because Jurdoslavich was a little close to the grass, so the umpire came back, said nope.
Kept sneaking up almost like behind the plate.
And just in case that pitch goes wild, maybe he can hit it too.
The 2-2 is up and in. So the count full on Blake Galen, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Talk about Galen playing just about everywhere but the majors. Some people ask about the play up here in Double-A. He fouls that one back.
Towards the line, and that'll go up into the picnic area.
But, you have fans ask about that. What's the level of play here? Some guys think this is as good as AAA sometimes. You have a lot of guys who have been in the majors that are playing in this league. So it's, independent baseball is nothing to be looked down on. This is a very, very talented league.
Yeah, it took a while to get its legs as Galen looks at ball 4, so he is a 2-out base runner. But we have seen through the years numerous players that have been in the majors, guys that have gotten calls up to the majors.
Yep.
So a lot of familiar names through the year. And yes, indeed, that level of play has definitely risen as far as the Atlantic League is concerned. All right, 2 down. And here is first baseman Joey Terlatovich.
Turdoslavich swings on that 0-1. I thought that would maybe be like his first 2 pitches he saw last night. Moonshots here.
A hefty cut.
This could be a guy who could become a fan favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Powerful bat.
The 0-1 goes wide, 1 ball, 1 strike. And I'm sure Terlatovich was told, as a left-hander, and you come into Clipper Magazine Stadium, you see that short porch.
Yeah.
Don't get enamored with it.
Yep.
Because it could really play head games with you. Although you look at the flag tonight, and the wind is blowing left to right, and it's blowing out. So I'm sure the batters are aware of it. More importantly, the pitchers are aware of it.
Yeah, pitch selection going to be important in that. And we talked about the weather a lot. I'm definitely happy it's warmer out, but that wind can haunt you depending on how it's blowing in or out.
Turdoslavich looks to the pitch outside.
And he looked at it a little bit, and the catcher was holding it a moment. They thought that was going to be called.
Two and one on Turdoslavich. Severino, a long look. That one fouled straight back. So we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Two outs here, guy on first, so.
Galen taking a couple of extra steps.
He's going to be given that.
Off-speed pitch, and Turdoslavich able to stay with it and foul it out of play.
Yeah, just keep fighting it. Sometimes you're going to have those long at-bats, and Turdoslavich is a guy who knows that, and just keep fouling pitches away, and you're just going to sit on something, and that might be what he's doing right now. Maybe sitting on a fastball.
Does Galen go on 2-2?
I'll give, well, not with the throw over to first, he doesn't.
I guess if you wait for an answer long enough,
I didn't have a quick one for you. That's what I was going for. That was intentional. All right, now he goes.
All right.
I'll give it to you there. Let's see. Nope.
He doesn't go, and pretty good drive down the left field line. That's going to go up into the playground area.
Nearly hit the carousel. Oh, it was good for him that he didn't go.
No, he's fighting off a number of pitches and keeps the count even at 2-2.
Early in a game, get a couple more pitches off a guy's arm. And do what you can here. I mean, this is a professional at-bat. That's what it looks like, guys, just waiting on his pitch. See if he can win it out. Oh.
Swing and a miss, and the win goes to Severino on that confrontation. Lancaster, no runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base at the end of 1. No score. York and Lancaster on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Localflavor.com. Local flavor, Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Excuse me. Are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com. Local Flavor. Localflavor.com. Local Flavor.
Top of the second inning, and for the Revolution, it'll be Luis Cruz, Jose Tabata, and Ruby Silva in this scoreless ball game. Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks, glad to have you here on Lancaster Barnstormer Baseball on Lancaster's YouTube channel. Game 2 of this 3-game weekend series in the opening weekend for the Barnstormers. Got off to a good start with a win last night. A 13-5 win over the Revs.
And we'll be with you tomorrow afternoon as well. And hopefully a lot of kids here tomorrow for the Dutch Wonderland Pass giveaway. Oh, here's a big shot. It's going to fly on to center.
Easy play for Sanford. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Just how you draw it up, right?
Tell you what, if you're a pitcher, you can't ask for anything better.
True.
This will bring up Jose Tabata, the left fielder. Tabata, 200 on the season with a home run, 3 runs batted in. His home run coming last Wednesday against the Road Warriors. First pitch missing for ball 1.
How about that team? An all-road team. This is not the first time that the Atlantic League has done this.
Yeah.
I feel for those guys.
You know, being a minor league baseball player, traveling on the road, even when you get to come home, is tough.
Yeah.
And when you have to be on the road all season, as that ball is grounded to short, Frias throws out Tabata for out number 2. That has got to be just physically and mentally draining.
Yeah, well, that team has not fared well in years past. So far this season, it's been more of the same, right?
And, of course, that ties in with the Bridgeport Bluefish disbanding after last season. So 2 down in the inning for Ruby Silvio, New York's second baseman, hitting at an even 200.
Batted .379 last year. 7 games with York only, and then actually had a home run in his first appearance at the plate for the York Revolution last year. So he wasn't a part of that championship team. He was only having a cup of coffee there.
3 pitches, and Silva is retired. So Nate Reed works a perfect second inning. Lancaster bats in the home second of a scoreless ball game.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Home second inning. Lancaster will send to the plate Brian Castile, Trayvon Robinson, and Keenan Walker against Dominic Severino. Castile hitting at .318. Goes after the first pitch and lifts it foul. Out of play on the right side. His first at bat in this series. Lines that one foul into the right field corner.
Almost the same exact location.
Yeah.
So
quickly in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Castile coming off a pretty good road trip. Went 7 for 22 with a home run, 3 runs batted in. Picked up 2 doubles. Ooh. That's about the second or third pitch that Severino has bounced into home.
Thinking the same thing. I don't know what he's going for there. If that's a slider that's just dropping, or
well, I noticed each time he looks down at the mound, it's like he's not getting a good plant with his foot.
Yeah.
And whether that's throwing him off as far as his delivery, but
I mean, you make that pitch with runners on base, you better be ready.
There's a drive to right center field. This ball is gone. Home run. Opposite field home run for Ryan Castile. And he gives the Barnstormers a 1-0 lead.
Well, we said he didn't want to miss on that pitch. Well, he didn't. Neither did Castile. Shot into the right deck. And the Barnstormers once again back-to-back games. He had an early lead here. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0, and now Trayvon Robinson coming up. Here's a guy who last season, if you include his last 43 plate appearances from 2017 plus this year, he's 48 for 50. He's reached base 48 of the last 50 games that he's been in.
And he goes after the first offering and fouls it out of play.
And he didn't have a great 2017 just because of a lot of injuries,
yes,
but he's still loved here, and when he's playing well, so...
Yeah, and to put up those kind of numbers battling through injuries says a lot more about Robinson.
Second on the team in walks. And again, you're factoring in all the guys that did play the majority of the games. He did not. Still was second in that category. Batting average above 300.
He's hit safely in his last 4 ball games.
Yeah, 5 for 14 over that mark.
A ball and 2 strikes on Trayvon Robinson. Made his major league debut on August 5th, 2011. Went 1 for 3. His first hit came off of Jared Weaver of the Angels. That one down. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So on that pitch, that one wasn't wild like the one he threw earlier, but are you seeing the same thing? His foot? The way he's planning that? Because that one was kind of not the same, obviously, but still down there. He's not controlling all of his pitches.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Robinson was...
He's going to take a look at that one.
Bailing out, thinking that was too far inside. Severino picks up his second strikeout of the ball game and the first out here in the second inning. This will bring up Keenan Walker, Barnstormer left fielder. Walker hitting at .250 with a run batted in.
Playing left field for the first time this season is Walker. Hasn't had any action out there yet. Maybe he gets some at the plate now. 250, as you mentioned, just an RBI. Not exactly an RBI guy, but
lifts this one shallow left field. Dent going back. He's going to be called off by Tabata.
He hasn't had left field action, but that guy just did. So there you go.
So Walker out number 2 here in the second for Vladimir Frias. Frias, another guy that spent time in Lancaster, hitting .360 in the early season.
Had a pretty good preseason with this team, too. In spring training, he was hitting a lot of balls.
Takes wide for ball 1. Last year in Lancaster, hit .277, hit 5 home runs, knocked in 30.
Yeah, first season in Lancaster after 3 seasons with Double-A Kansas City.
Lifts that one into right field for a base hit. One hopper in front of Mitchell. So Frias, a 2-out base runner. And now Severino's going to have to keep his eye on Vladimir Frias, because here's another guy that will run. Rico Noel, the number 9 hitter, steps to the plate.
Frias, by the way, now hitting in 4 consecutive games. 5 for 13 over that mark. And as you mentioned, here comes that speedy lineup we talk about. They get on the base paths, so we'll see if Frias makes a move with Noelle up.
First pitch outside, ball 1 to Noel, who had a really nice ball game last week against York when he went 5 for 5 with a pair of doubles, and he knocked in 3. In fact, he opened up the season 9 out of 12. There goes Frias. Pitch outside, throw down to second, and sliding in safely under the tag is Vladimir Frias. Pretty good throw by Luis Cruz behind the plate, but Frias able to slide in under the tag, so he is in scoring position now with 2 down.
Yeah, Cruz did what he could there. It was a good throw, like you mentioned, just speed able to outrun the throw. Now runner in scoring position. Opportunity for Noel to get a knock in here. Get the Barnstormers their second run of the inning.
2-0 count on Rico Noel. Jammed him and he grounds it into the York dugout. Good crowd on hand here at Clipper Magazine Stadium on fireworks night.
Yeah, I'm debating if I think there are more people here tonight than there were yesterday. It's a really nice crowd.
Going to
enjoy some fireworks.
6,900 last night, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 6,927.
Think this is close?
Jam shot, shallow center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Witherspoon with the throw home. It's going to be wide. Coming in to score is Frias, and on the throw home, Rico Noel takes second base. It is 2-0 Lancaster.
Great pitch there, just looking for it. Noel sitting on one, and he's able to fly one out there, just dropping in front of center, about mid-center field, and able to score a run. Now Barnstormers up 2-0. You want to kind of get this going like you did last night, where 1 run turns into 3, turns into 6. And right now, plus this has been a decently long inning for Severino and the Revs. He's been throwing a lot of balls as well. His splits are not looking that great.
Anytime you put up crooked numbers, it's a good inning.
Absolutely.
Sanford looks at strike 1. He popped out to short his first time up.
And Sanford, a guy who admittedly said he doesn't take a lot of pitches, had a 4-pitch at-bat in the first inning, so see if that changes.
Drops down a bunt and it's going to roll foul up the first base line. Yeah, it's guys like Sanford. You want to see him hit one to the gap just to see him run.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. You almost don't want to see him hit a home run. You like to see him on the base paths.
Although I'd be curious to see, would he sprint around the bases or would he try?
Oh, that's interesting, yeah.
I guess that's a question we could have posed to him.
That's something, Major League Baseball would probably have a stat for that. Average speed, a guy walks around I'm serious. They have something for everything now. Such an analytically driven sport. And a couple of those derived from the Atlantic League.
Swing and a miss. Sanford down on strikes to end the inning. But the Barnstormers pick up a pair of runs. Ryan Castile with a solo blast and Rico Noel an RBI single at the end of 2. Lancaster 2 and York nothing.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all-you-can-eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Top of the third inning, 2-0 Lancaster. And after Lancaster wraps up this 3-game weekend series with the York Revolution, they'll get Monday off and then open up a 3-game homestand against the Sugarland Skeeters. And coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday, May 9th, it'll be free Bang Bang Shrimp coupon giveaway. Sponsored by Bonefish Grill while supplies last. So if you want to come out and enjoy Barnstormer baseball, go to LancasterBarnstormers.com or give them a call at 509-HITS.
Oh.
And the first pitch is going to clip Ryan Dent.
Yeah, left leg, and he's feeling it. Checking right around his ankle. That went low on him, and he's favoring that leg.
He did not have much time to get out of the way.
He did not. Nope.
And again, you start talking about that lower part of the leg, there is no meat. It is all bone.
Robinson knows a thing or two about that.
Yeah.
A lot of leg problems there, so that's... And pitcher going over. You can see Reed just trying to apologize for that. I don't think he meant to do that. Certainly no ill will yet in this rivalry this year.
No. And again, the last thing you want to do as a pitcher after getting a couple of runs is let the first guy reach base.
Yep. I don't think you're going to have to worry about him running, though, if that left leg is sore. Just address the elephant in the room there.
Good point.
Pitching with purpose.
Yeah. This brings up the number 9 hitter, Tyler Clark. Clark playing in Lancaster last summer. Hitting .091 early on in 2018. The 0-1, and it's quickly no balls and 2 strikes on Ryan Clark or Tyler Clark. Played in 52 games last summer with Lancaster.
Just outside.
Splitting time with Anderson De La Rosa. The 1-2, strike 3 called. Tyler Clark down on strikes. Nate Reed picks up his 3rd strikeout of the ball game. And with 1 down, it's top of the order, and Jared Mitchell.
Just froze him on a pitch there. A guy who's played AAA before as well. So, we talk about some of these batters that have, played everywhere but the majors. He's one of those guys. Clark, a well-ventured player. And now we get to Mitchell, as you mentioned, top of the lineup with one out. Runner on.
Mitchell last season hit .295 with the Revs, 14 home runs, 62 runs batted in. Had a career high 124 hits, and he did it in 122 games. Showing a good eye at the plate, 2 balls, no strikes. Check swing, but it's over for a strike.
Now what you have to do is after getting those 2 runs, now it's time to just control it because you already have a runner on. You got 1 out. Don't let this team get right back into it. You want to put them in an uncomfortable position like they were last night. Get them swinging at everything once you're down by so many runs.
Reed's pitch, ground ball to second. Should be 2. Noel de Frias to first. They got the double play. 4-6-3. And Reed is out of the inning. No runs, no hits. Nobody left on base. Lancaster bats in the home third, leading 2-0.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Lancaster batting in the home half of the third inning, up 2-0. Tyler Bortnick, Blake Galen, Joey Terdoslavich.
And we want to remind fans tomorrow, tickets still on sale for the series finale between the York Revolution and your Lancaster Barnstormers here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 1 o'clock first pitch, and for the first 1,000 kids 12 and under, you get a free Dutch Wonderland pass giveaway. It's again tomorrow, May 6th. Go on to LancasterBarnstormers.com to secure your seats or call 717-509-HITS.
Tyler Bortnick running back to Severino, his first time up. And again, one of those pitches just getting away from Severino.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard to tell what kind of pitch he's going for right now. You know that's not his fastball. Obviously, I don't know. The way it looks, it kind of looks like a slider to me.
1-1, lined right at Zach Wilson. For out number 1. He stung it well, but he hit it right at Wilson. So Bortnick is out number 1. Here's Blake Galen. Galen walked his first time up.
And he's gotten on base already 19 times this season. 9 runs in his last 6 games, which makes sense when you're scoring 35 runs over your last 4.
Flips that one into right field. Mitchell a couple of steps over. And Galen retired on one pitch. Quickly 2 outs here in the third inning.
Here's Trdoslavich. Struck out swinging in the first inning on a full count. That was an 8-pitch at bat, by the way. He fouled quite a few off.
First pitch, and he grounds that foul up the first base line. 0-1. Trdoslavich, a career-high 20 home runs back in 2011 when he played for Lynchburg. Knocked in 82 that year. And he's showing power as he grounds this one off the glove of Silva, who stays with it, and then he pulls him off the bag.
That was a good recovery by Silva. But I think that's going to go down as an E6.
Well, the fact that he mishandled it from the get-go, able to regain it, but then his throw to first pulled Burgess off the bag. It's going to go as an error. I was waiting for the official call on the board, and it will
I had it for you.
Oh, okay. And it will be Silva charged with the error. So Trdoslavich, a 2-out base runner now for Ryan Castile, who got the first run across for the Barnstormers with a home run to right field. His first of the season. Ball, 1 strike.
I should apologize. It's an E4, not an E6. There was Silva over there, second baseman, so. Either way, got a guy on base. Works out.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, you did. I don't want Dent to get Ryan Dent out there. He doesn't want to be charged in error if he didn't do it.
And Ryan Dent is a guy that does not make many errors.
Yeah. So he definitely didn't want to be charged for that. Glad I'm not the official scorekeeper. I would have messed that one up.
We have seen Dent through the years in the Atlantic League, and he is a fine defensive player. 2-1. Appeal down to first. No swing, says Doug McFarling. So it's now 3 balls and a strike to Castile. Trdoslavich at first with 2 down. Ground ball toward the hole. Dent will turn and fire to second and get the force, and that'll end the inning. For the Barnstormers in the third, no runs, no hits, 1 York error, and 1 runner left on base. We move to the 4th inning here in Lancaster. 2-0 Barnstormers.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Well, a light rain starting to fall here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. 2-0 Lancaster here in the top of the fourth inning. Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks, thanks for joining us on Lancaster's YouTube channel. Filling in for Dave Collins, who is home this weekend celebrating his son's graduation from college.
Good for Dave. I'll be in his son's shoes a week from now.
Yeah, this is like Millersville night here.
Yeah,
in the press box.
I was going to say, we have an alum and then an alum in progress.
An alum from a while ago.
Well, you didn't have to say that.
Well,
they can hear your voice. I mean, he's a 2016 graduate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Not quite. 3 balls and no strikes on Travis Witherspoon. Witherspoon hit that drive to center field that Sanford had to really get on his horse and track down. But he made the catch and saved a run.
Yeah, he's had the best hit ball of the game so far through 3 innings. Now on to the 4th for York.
He lifts this one into left field. Well hit. That's going to go up against the wall, take a bounce. Witherspoon will coast into second base as Walker got it in quickly, but it is a double for Travis Witherspoon leading off the 4th inning.
A quick update around the Atlantic League. The Sugarland Skeeters, who are 7-0, put that record on the line. It's scoreless at the end of the 1st inning against Somerset Patriots. Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, after a 3-game sweep, or getting swept, that is, of the Lancaster Barnstormers, they're up 3-1 over Long Island, and the Road Warriors down 2-0 to the New Britain Bees, that game in the bottom of the 3rd.
I had to do a double take when I looked at the scoreboard last night. 25-5. Southern Maryland lost.
Yeah.
I was like,
I didn't want to comment on it, but if you're going to go
well,
there.
It's just that's something you don't see. That's why I had to do that double take, just to make sure I wasn't seeing something wrong.
It wasn't quite that crooked when the Barnstormers played them, but it was still pretty bad. I mean, there was one game 14-8 for the Barnstormers, another one 7-0. I mean, they put up 10 runs.
You're getting into slow pitch softball scores there.
Yeah, you are.
1-1 pitch to Zach Wilson is down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Wilson reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Pops it up and will get out of play. Witherspoon doing a lot of dancing off of second base, trying to get the attention of Nate Reed.
Now, is Reed doing the right thing by kind of ignoring it, just attacking the hitter right now, or?
Well, you definitely want to keep an eye on Witherspoon, but don't pay too much attention to him because obviously with nobody out in the inning, you got to get an out.
Yeah.
2-2 bounces up there, so the count full now at 3-2. Wilson last season played 80 games with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, had a good season, hit .282 with 14 home runs and 52 runs batted in.
We neglect to mention that Witherspoon, his double was the first hit of the game for the Barnstormers. The Revs, no hits through the first 3 innings.
This one's popped up, foul territory, long run, Tardoslavich and Robinson sliding onto the pitcher's mound in the bullpen, but unable to come up with it, so the count remains 3-2. Boy, and Dave and I talk about that too. You get down into that area, in that corner, it is really tricky. Because not only do you have that pitcher's mound to deal with, but you got the wall and the railing.
And you've seen a lot of players get hurt from doing that in minor league parks where this happens. I remember Darren Ruff, when he was with Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, did that. Now he made the catch, but it was over on the left field, and he ended up having a knee injury by just running into the wall out there.
Got him swinging. Nate Reed has picked up a strikeout in every inning. That is his fourth. And with one down, brings up Michael Burgess. Burgess, one of his strikeout victims back in the first inning.
And Burgess hit 17 homers last year, already 2 this season. His batting average at 190, which, for a power hitter, I mean, that's for any hitter, that's not where you want it to be. It was 264 at the end of last season, but he's got a guy on second right now, so maybe not as concerned about getting a home run and just putting the ball into play and advancing your runner.
They appeal down to third, and Manolo Alejandro says that Burgess went around, so it's 0-1.
12-year pro. Got some veterans in Indy ball.
Has been the part of 2 championship teams, York last season and Somerset in 2015. Fouls that one out of play, 0-2. So for the most part, Nate Reed early on through the first 3 innings has done a pretty good job of getting ahead in the count. Has gone to a full count just 2 times.
Yeah, only 1 walk, too, so, I mean, he's pitching effectively. Only 1 hit as well.
The 0-2 pitch, just missing on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes to Burgess. Lancaster with a shift on to the right side. Freya standing right behind second base. Swing and a miss. Nate Reed back-to-back strikeouts. And the second out of the inning. He just reared back and let her fly.
Yeah, 5th strikeout for Reed. He's in the zone right now. He's feeling it. You can tell.
So with 2 down in the inning, here's Luis Cruz.
And what do they say? Sometimes your best offense is good defense. Pitching is looking good right now. And it hasn't needed to be as of late because they've been scoring so many runs. But you never know in a game like this. I mean, 2-0 right now. That could be the score at the end.
Cruz fly to center on the first pitch he saw in his first at bat. Fouled back. And Reed in front, no balls and 2 strikes. And it appears that with each pitch, Witherspoon's lead off of second keeps getting bigger and bigger. You would almost think that if Cruz would happen to hit a base hit, Witherspoon would score extremely easily. That's the proper way to say it. Oh, there's a line shot toward the gap, and that's going to happen. Witherspoon will score. It's an RBI single for Cruz, and a 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, Cruz just saw a pitch down and in, and he was able to drive it right out towards left center. And just like that, you cut the score in half. And for the Revolution, look, if you're not going to get home runs in this park, even though I do think it's a hitter-friendly ballpark, right now you haven't been able to get those off the arm of Reed. Play small ball. That's what they're trying to do. They got a runner on, and now you got the go-ahead at the plate.
7th run batted in for Cruz this season. And Jose Tabata takes a big swing and a miss. 0-1. Cruz 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Pops it up. It's going to go out of play. So Nate Reed had Luis Cruz 0-2, and Cruz able to find the gap in left center field to plate the first York run. Sure, Reed wishes he had that pitch back. And strike 3 called on Tabata. So Nate Reed strikes out the side, but in between, York pushes a run across on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Through 3.5. Lancaster 2, York 1.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for what, 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
2-1 Lancaster lead. Barnstormers batting in the home half of the fourth inning. Trayvon Robinson, Keenan Walker, and Vladimir Frias against Dominic Severino.
How about a couple of MLB score updates right now? The Phillies over the Nationals 3-1 earlier today. Rhys Hoskins with a home run, breaking out of a funk there. Vince Velasquez given the win over Tanner Roark. Also, the New York Mets trailing 1-0 at the end of 2 against Colorado Rockies. Braves down 2-1 against San Francisco Giants. 2-run homer hit just now to give them the lead. Pittsburgh is underway with Milwaukee. A couple of other games going on later tonight.
Robinson squares the bunt and takes a strike. 0-1. How about those baby Braves?
Oh, my.
I mean, that young talent just
really
I
can't
doing
believe it.
damage.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes it's, I mean, the NL East this year is hard to predict. Nationals were off to a weird start, but I mean, Braves have a couple of good guys. You know, they got a guy named Freddie Freeman, too.
Oh, that guy is
That's MVP worthy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Enciarte, Markakis. I mean, they got a lot of guys that can hit, too. Don't forget Acuna Jr. now with the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's made a big difference.
That backs Robinson off the plate, and Robinson with a glare out at Severino.
Well, remember, there was a player hit by a pitch for York, and I wonder if maybe that's I said that was not intentional. I think that pitch might have been.
Well, and don't forget, Robinson was called out on strikes on a pitch inside.
And he didn't like it.
Yeah. And so Severino thought, well, heck, if it worked the first time, why not go back a second time?
Yeah. So are you saying Robinson's in the wrong for being mad about that?
No, I mean, I don't think anybody likes to be backed off the plate.
No, agreed.
And right now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. High and away, 2-2.
And you won't be happy when, you know, the umpire expands the strike zone like that.
Right.
So was it him being mad at Severino? Or was he mad at the guy on plate? Jorge Teheran.
The glare went to the pitcher's mound. Grounds that one to Burgess, who'll flip to Severino covering for out number 1. That'll bring up Keenan Walker. Walker flied to left in his first at bat. So York able to come back and answer with a run in the top of the 4th. Cut the lead down.
Yeah, this game,
single run.
This game doesn't have the same feeling as yesterday's game. I don't know that we're going to see a 13-run game. I've been wrong before.
Yeah. It is only the 4th inning.
That's right. That's right. Maybe it goes this way all the way into the bottom of the 8th and they score 10 runs and win it. But you do have to see what a team's bullpen's like. I mean, you know, inevitably you're going to get there in the majority of games, right?
Right.
You know, that's got to be a strength.
Yeah, and realistically, I'm sure if you ask both managers, if you can get your starting pitcher to go 6-7 innings, that's ideal.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 balls and a strike on Keenan Walker. Walker last season with Windy City of the Frontier League. And here again, another guy that likes to run. He finished 3rd in the league in stolen bases last season. So much to the point that he stole 3 bases in a game 3 times. So kind of, no pun intended, but stealing a page out of the Darian Sanford book.
Yeah. Well, you know, the way this lineup was assembled, we talked about it, there's a lot of speed, and right now there's been a lot of runs, but, you know, I wonder if this team's goal is to maybe just win a bunch of small ball games. You know, get guys around the base paths and go running.
Walker swings and misses. Cruz will pick it up and fire down to first, and almost pulled Burgess off the bag.
And that's what you like. You strike out, you don't give up on the play there. Some guys do that, and they start just jogging down the baseline. That was a full-on sprint for Walker.
That is the 4th strikeout for Severino. So both pitchers have been racking up some strikeouts.
Yeah, combined 10 between both.
So
9
2
swinging.
down.
9 swinging, 1 looking. That one for Nate Reed.
Vladimir Frias had an RBI, got a single and a stolen base and scored the 2nd Lancaster run back in the 2nd inning. Grounds that one to first. Burgess will take it unassisted. And Severino has a 1-2-3 4th inning. 4 in the books here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. And our score at the end of 4, Lancaster 2, York 1.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Well, parents, what a great way to celebrate your children's birthday than a birthday party at Clipper Magazine Stadium, whether it's watching the game or playing in the VR Kreider Kids Park, or even taking a selfie with one of the Barnstormers. You're sure to make memories that'll last a lifetime with the Lancaster Barnstormers. Birthday package, $145, includes field box seat tickets, VR Kreider Kids Park passes, food vouchers. Get to play catch on the field before the game and run bases after the game on Sundays. But again, memories made here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for more information.
It's a heck of a deal.
Ruby Silva leading off the inning for the Rebs, now at a ball and a strike here in the top of the 5th. Silva down on strikes, his first time up. Reed once again getting ahead of the Rev batters. A ball and 2 strikes. flips the bat and fouls it out of play.
Yeah, and you talk about getting ahead of hitters. Just to give you an idea, Reed has only thrown 2 full counts so far in this game. Now we're into the top of the 5th inning, so a lot of those pitches inside the strike zone. That one was not, but still fouled away by Silva, so 1-2 it remains.
Now, they used to have the pitch count up on the board. I don't see it.
I got to be honest, I gave it an effort, and I totally lost it.
Ground ball to the right side. Rico Noel takes a hop on him, but he stays with it and throws out Silva for out number 1. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do during a game, and even if you're just keeping stats, yeah, I mean, I'm amazed at what these statisticians come up with.
Yeah, and, like I was saying earlier, this sport in particular, I think more than any, is so analytically driven now with the statistics. Yep. And you're even seeing that in who's being hired as clubhouse managers. Yeah, I think of, and maybe just a little bit of bias because I'm a Phillies fan, but, I think of Gabe Kapler and a guy who just talks about so many different stats, things that you just, old-fashioned baseball you just don't think of. We're putting a guy in here because this pitcher is 6'3", and his average pitch comes in with an exit velocity of 98 for the hitter that makes contact, so we're going to put him in. It's like, what the?
But is it almost too much? That's
what I think is being tested now.
Line drive center field. Sanford comes in, squeezes it. Dent is retired for out number 2. Yeah, so many times, analytics, yes, that is part of baseball, but also sometimes you just got to go with a hunch.
And you got to play the game.
Yes.
That I believe, I'm not the most ventured to really say, oh, well, here's my piece. But, I think if a hitter's hot, you keep him in the lineup, regardless of who's pitching. Little things like that are just kind of going with the motions of the game, and you're seeing a couple of clubhouses getting away from that. Same thing with the New York Yankees. They've been off to a terrific start. Giancarlo Stanton was not off to a terrific start, but he's picked it up since. By the way, there's a little bit of rain sprinkling through. We're seeing quite a bit of umbrellas out and some fans heading to the concourse for shelter. And we knew about this coming in, and I don't think the weather is supposed to look peachy tomorrow either.
It's not looking real good for tomorrow, but weather's a tricky thing. You can't always believe what you hear or see.
Yeah. I thought in April it meant spring, but in Pennsylvania, apparently winter continued.
Well, it was late in getting here and then late in leaving.
Yeah.
0-2 pitch to Clark, and he's jammed. So the count will remain 0-2. Okay, so let me pose this question to you then. A starter goes down with an injury. The sub comes in and performs well. The guy that was the starter is ready to play again. Does he automatically go back into the lineup?
Oh, man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I guess it really depends on the position.
Yeah. It would depend on that. And, is that where analytics is really well needed to maybe look at, some things from a, maybe instead of look at what you're seeing in the naked eye, just look at a couple of pieces of paper and that's tough. And going back to saying how stat driven this one is, with baseball versus anything else, it makes sense. There's a lot going on in baseball that you don't think about. It's not just pitcher and batter. Look at the defensive alignment of the outfield. Look at the signs from, the hitting coaches. All there.
Tyler Clark grounds that one right back through the middle. His first hit of the ball game. And the third for the Revs tonight. So Clark's a 2-out base runner. We're back to the top of the order with Jared Mitchell. The only thing is, when it comes to all these analytics, I can't even imagine the amount of spreadsheets, columns. Oh.
Yeah, well, that requires a bigger staff. All the people that are looking at sabermetrics and,
That's way above my pay scale.
Well, No comment on my pay scale.
Strike one to Mitchell.
Apparently counting pitches is above my pay scale. I couldn't even. Gave it the good old college try. Just didn't work out.
Attaboy. The 0-1 pitch tapped softly to first. Tradoslavich will take it unassisted. And that'll end the inning for the Revs here in the fifth. No runs, a hit, and one runner left on base. Lancaster bats home fifth, up 2-1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower, heightened handling, elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
2-1 Lancaster lead in this second game of this weekend series against the York Revolution. Lancaster with a 2-1 lead, and Rico Noel will lead it off for the Barnstormers. Noel with an RBI single, his first time up, gave Lancaster at that point a 2-0 lead. Was after the first pitch and drives it to center field. Witherspoon back and over his head. Takes a bounce against the wall. Rico Noel on his way to third. A stand-up triple to lead off the fifth inning.
Well, Witherspoon, that's where maybe analytics would help. Witherspoon's in mid-center field. That ball is way over his head. He's just doing everything he can to run back there and get it. Falls down right around the warning track. And great start for the bottom of the fifth here for the Lancaster Barnstormers. They're up 2-1 right now. They've got a runner on third with nobody out.
And this is a very deep center field. I mean, it is 400 feet to dead center. And Witherspoon, again, a guy with good speed and almost able to track it down, but it's just out of his reach. And so Rico Noel with a leadoff triple here in the fifth inning.
And the top of the lineup up now. So you've got Sanford, Bortnick, and Galen, all guys who can hit, all guys who can drive in runs, and then they're dangerous on the base paths as well.
Pitch inside, 2 balls, no strikes on Sanford. And again, don't forget, this is a guy that likes to drop down the bunt. Is this a scenario where we could see a safety squeeze type of play?
Maybe, yeah.
2-0 on Sanford.
Although I feel like if he goes for the bunt, they're going to try and get Noel at home.
Well, the infield's playing in. Burgess almost in on the cutout at first. Zach Wilson in on the cut on third base. Two and one on Sanford. And that hit him.
Oh, man.
On the right hip. I got one word for that. Ouch.
Ouch. Yep.
Might not what Sanford had said, but
he's limping up. I'm interested to see if they'll have someone run for him, but I guess not. He's shaking it off.
Well, I'm kind of going to go back to the interview. One way to get inside the pitcher's head or get back at the pitcher, run.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Will he, though?
Can he? Can he? Yeah. He's staying in. Maybe he can.
Well, and they'll give him the time to get loosened up and make sure he is okay to continue. But, boy, that hit him squarely on the right hip.
And those pitches for Severino, that's nothing new. And I don't think that one's intentional. This guy's throwing from the pitcher's mound, he's throwing wide left at a lot of these. We already saw a couple of wild pitches when nobody was on. It doesn't go down as a wild pitch in the scorebooks, but there's been some well outside the strike zone on the left side. Batter's right.
So each pitcher with a hit batsman.
We got two guys on the corners here.
Now, Severino might be thinking that Sanford is going to try and run on him, so they're going to
take a look at Sanford's.
Over.
What kind of lead is he taking? Maybe he is all right. Not much of a lead right now.
Severino with a long look at home and a throw back over to first.
You saw that one coming. You take that long of a look, he's going to throw over. Fans voice their displeasure.
Well, and so Sanford at first base, now going back and looking in his mind at those videos on the opposing pitcher that he had mentioned, trying to pick up on a pitcher's idiosyncrasies as far as his move to first and or home. Ooh. Had Sanford leaning a little bit.
Yeah, he did. That's 3 throws to first in a row for Severino.
Still has not thrown a pitch to Tyler Bortnick yet in this at bat. Bortnick 0 for 2. Gets the outside corner. No balls, 1 strike.
I wonder if that gets in the hitter's head too at all. When you're throwing over to first nonstop, hitter's trying to get in his zone there. Ideally, York's going to try and turn 2 here, you think, and induce a ground out, but I don't know that happens with Sanford on the base paths. That's why maybe he's trying to get that big lead. Nope.
And again, Sanford kind of leaning.
Fans are not happy. 4 out of the last 5 times the ball has left the arm of Severino. It's going over to first. There's analytics for you. Well, those are the kind of stats I can keep count of.
Still 0-1 to Bortnick. This is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rico Noel at third base. He started the inning with a leadoff triple. Darian Sanford at first after getting hit by the pitch. Nobody out. There goes Sanford. Ball's lifted into right field. Will be deep enough to score Noel. Jared Mitchell will make the catch. Tagging at third and scoring is Noel. So a sacrifice fly run batted in for Tyler Bortnick. And it's now 3-1 Lancaster.
Well, sometimes you just want to hit the ball into play like that. Getting it in, and luckily it was deep enough, so now Barnstormers reestablishing a 2-run lead here, up 3-1, bottom of the 5th. Galen up.
And you had mentioned earlier in that at bat, York was sitting back, pretty much giving up. They would concede a run to try and get 2 if they can induce Bortnick into a double play.
That's what the alignment looked like.
Yeah. So now Bortnick able to at least plate the run, only give up 1 out, so Blake Galen will step to the plate with 1 down and Sanford at first. And a meeting at the mound. And we have some activity in the York bullpen. I believe that is left-hander Joey Van Meter.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We're early into this season, but the Atlantic League does not follow MLB's rules of mound visits, correct? With the 6 visits per game?
That's a good question. This is my first Barnstormers game this year. I'm not sure if that has been implicated or not.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to ask our in-house statistician, Joey Greer, who's been interning here and is an awesome guy. Maybe he'll have that answer.
Another throw over to first. Sorry, the pitcher in the York bullpen is Luke Westfall, a left-hander. Galen walked and has flied to right.
Man.
Again, Sanford leaning a little bit towards second base and obviously making Severino a little uncomfortable out on the mound.
Yeah, you're telling me. I think the thousands of fans have kind of spoken already for that. My goodness. You see it a lot. You see throws to first a lot. This recently, though, I mean, for me, recent memory, I don't know this many times. It's got to be 5 or 6 times alone to Sanford right now.
I don't know. I wasn't really keeping track. I just know it has been numerous throws. Bluff's going. Galen fans on the pitch. No balls and 1 strike. So Sanford very active down there at first base. Has the attention of Dominic Severino.
And just an update, Joey here with the Barnstormers says, I think so. As in, we're going to take his educated guess that MLB mound visits and that ruling also applies to the Atlantic League. I know AAA, the MILB, I know the International League, they're doing the same thing. So if that is the case here, you're allowed 6 mound visits. That does not count injuries or pitching changes. So the Revs have used 1 mound visit. I like the rule. That also is not just when the manager comes out or the pitching coach comes out. That's when the catcher comes to the mound as well. Any form of a mound visit, any of the players from the outfield coming in counts. You have 6 per game.
What about in the case of an injury, though?
No, does not count. Does not count. Injuries and pitching changes, no. You're allowed to.
Because they did have that 1 visit with Severino when the broken bat.
Right. And that, so that should not count. Well, if you couldn't watch the video feed of this and you just hear a lot of boos, what would you think Severino just did?
Yeah, quite obvious.
Yeah.
And at first, early on in these throw to first, Michael Burgess wasn't applying a tag.
No.
But with each passing toss over there, he keeps swiping the glove now down to try and get Sanford. Galen has fouled off a couple of pitches, holding it no balls and 2 strikes. Sanford at first after being hit by a pitch. There he goes. And Galen fouls it off. Well, if anything, at least it gave Sanford an opportunity to kind of stretch out that hip.
And I think in some way it proved to Severino, you threw it over 8 times already, it's still going to go. He's very confident. We talked to him before the game, and this is a guy who likes to run, knows he can run, and he'll challenge pitchers. That's what he's doing right now with Severino. I mean, now I think in some ways the psyche behind that is you're putting pressure on the pitcher to keep looking over his shoulder, but at the same time he's got to attack the batter.
Oh-2 pitch and another foul ball. And again, just to let you know, as far as the impact that Darian Sanford has when he is on the base paths, he finished second in the Atlantic League last season with 45 stolen bases, and he did that in 60 games.
Man.
And he still ended up second in the league.
Sometimes you look at a guy like that and you think, wow, how is he still here? You know, he was with Double-A Harrisburg a little bit last year as well, part of the Washington Nationals affiliate. And we talked to him and asked him about the level of play there versus here. He said it's about the same.
Oh, Galen tried to hold up, but he committed. And he is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. Fifth strikeout in the ballgame for Severino. And with two down, Joey Trdoslavich. Big first baseman steps to the plate.
Yeah.
0 for 1, he struck out and reached on an error.
Was 3 for 4 last night. 2 RBIs, 2 home runs. Or excuse me, was 3 for 5 last night. He was 3 for 4 last Saturday. And that was against York. So he's been very good against the Revs early on this season.
Knocked in 6 runs on the last road trip.
I'd say that's pretty good.
10 already on the season. And yet another throw to first. Fans are antsy for a Barnstormer win and fireworks.
Yeah, I think so. And when you throw that ball over to first, that's making this game take a little longer.
Yeah, really, the first couple innings went fast. There goes
I think
Sanford.
So.
What a jump.
Wow.
And he is in safely.
Finally, Severino, and Sanford's looking back at him. You deserve that. All those throws.
Yeah, and we talk about it. Dave and I talked about it last year. So many times they say they run on the catcher because it goes against the catcher. When you steal, it's on the pitcher.
I think so.
He got a tremendous jump.
Especially in this case, because Severino kept looking back. This was a, and for a fan's point of view, you're a little agitated, but really this was a battle, Severino versus Sanford. These guys were challenging one another, and Sanford ended up with the victory there.
So Sanford now in scoring position with a ball and a strike on Trdoslavich and an opportunity to knock in yet another run. And he drives it, but he pulled it foul. A ball and 2 strikes on Joey Trdoslavich. Barnstormers with a run across here in the 5th. Rico Noel led off the inning with a triple and scored on a sacrifice fly from Tyler Bortnick. And there goes Sanford again, and Trdoslavich down on strikes to end the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base at the end of 5. It's Lancaster 3, York 1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all-you-can-eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast. Win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Sixth inning baseball here at Clipper Magazine Stadium, 3-1. Lancaster. Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks here on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
New arm out there for the Barnstormers.
Oh, indeed. So the night is done for Nate Reed. Matt Marksberry, 6'1", 185-pound left-hander now in the ball game for Lancaster.
Out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Last team he played for was Quebec, so a little bit of north of the border trends for him. And by the way, that ends the line for Nate Reed, who pitched very well. Allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 6 strikeouts.
Marksberry making his first appearance since Thursday. That's when he last pitched at Southern Maryland through an inning of hitless baseball. Struck out 1 and walked 1. No decision in the 10-8 Lancaster win. Travis Witherspoon at the dish. 1 ball and 1 strike. Through 5 innings, Lancaster 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. York 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error. Fouled straight back. That was coming our way.
Yeah, well, thank goodness for that screen. I would have had to pull out the Gold Glove.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that would have probably hit me. That wasn't good. It's fun, though, when you see these ballparks. I've been to some of the bigger ones in the press booths, and this one just has a more intimate feeling. You're closer to the fans. The energy is just, it's right there.
And Travis Witherspoon is called out on strikes. So Marksberry with a strikeout in the first batter he faces brings up Zach Wilson. Wilson 0 for 2 and a strikeout. Marksberry did make it to the major leagues. In fact, made his debut July 31st of 15 in Philadelphia. This one is fly to right field. Sanford is going to drop the ball at the base of the fence. Well, I don't know if it was a miscommunication. Sanford and Robinson were going over, and it appeared that Robinson was going to make the play and then got called off.
Yeah, tough to say there. I really don't know.
They're going to charge the 2-base error to Darian Sanford. So Zach Wilson at second base with 1 out. Second error of the ball game against the Barnstormers.
Well, speaking of Sanford, by the way, last inning, that was his 6th stolen base. He leads the league very early in to this Atlantic League 2018 season.
Michael Burgess takes low for ball 1. Burgess has been out on strikes in both plate appearances. I was about to say that debut for Marksberry at Philadelphia, July 31st, an inning and 2/3. gave up 2 hits and a walk. He did that as a member of the Atlanta Braves.
You know, you can't always rely on the radar gun. They just had a pitch pop up that was fouled away. They had it recorded at 35 miles an hour.
Line shot left field. That's going to fall in front of Keenan Walker. Wilson will advance to third and stop there, and the Revs have runners at the corners with 1 down. So the Revs with something brewing here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, and this is what we talk about. You know, you get into your bullpen, they've got to do their job too. It looks like Ross is coming out. This might be it. They might go to another arm.
Well, there's some activity in the Lancaster bullpen, but I can't tell who it is. Well, now he's taking the sweatshirt off. Yeah, he just had it on to loosen up.
Yeah, so they've got
Kevin
some
Munson.
They're going to leave Marksberry in. Tough luck for him, too, because that, you know, he gets the strikeout. Then Wilson really, I mean, it was close. It was at the warning track. Should have been an out, though. And, you know, big difference here if you've got 2 outs and a guy on first instead of 1 out and a guy on the corners.
Right. So now Marksberry will have to find his double play pitch. Cruz knocked in the lone Revs run with an RBI single in the 4th inning. First pitch, and he lifts it into shallow left center field. Keenan Walker makes the call, makes the catch. And Zach Wilson, not really an effort to get off at third base and try and score. So a huge out there for Marksberry.
It definitely takes the pressure off. Now all you need is an out. Instead of trying to induce that ground ball double play. And the wind's kind of cooled down. It felt like it was whipping in a little bit more than what it was, or felt like it was earlier compared to now.
Yeah, when the game started, it was almost from the left field corner to the right field corner. Now it's kind of shifted almost towards right center field. This one's driven into right field. Robinson back and got it. Trayvon Robinson, a nice running grab right in front of the wall in right field to end the 6th inning. For the Revs, no runs, a hit, 1 error. They left 2 on base through 5.5. Lancaster 3, York 1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding third row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
New pitcher in the ballgame for the Revs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. It will be left-hander Luke Westfall, 6'3", 230-pound left-hander. Westfall in his 2nd season with the Revs. Last season, 45 relief appearances. Had a 3.35 earned run average and good control, too. 64 strikeouts and only 18 walks in 45 and 2/3 innings of work.
And another update as far as it goes with pitching. Kevin Munson was up in the bullpen for a little bit, so could be coming in to pitch the 7th inning, as we are in the bottom of the 6th right now. The York Revolution were threatening at the top, but not able to drive a run across, and so the Barnstormers maintaining a 3-1 lead now in the bottom of the 6th inning. And folks, the Lancaster Barnstormers continuing tomorrow to wrap up this series finale with the York Revolution. They play 6 home games in their next 7, including that finale this Thursday. It's an 11 a.m. game, baseball in Education Day against the Sugar Land Skeeters. Bring the kids out, learn a little, and enjoy a little baseball. Again, 11 a.m. this Thursday.
Could be a huge series against those Skeeters.
It's going to be a measuring stick series, I'd say, with the way they're playing right now. I haven't checked the score in a couple of innings, but they're 7-0 on the season. We'll see what's going on. I'll get back to you on that.
Ryan Castile with a solo home run and a ground out into a fielder's choice. 1 ball, 1 strike on Castile.
3-3 top of the 4th inning between Somerset and Sugar Land. So maybe something for the Pats.
Lancaster would love to keep it right now at least no more than a 2.5 game deficit.
Exactly.
Give them an opportunity to take over first place.
I hear you on that. Somerset, and it's a battle of first in the Liberty Division versus first in the Freedom Division. Sugar Land 7-0, Somerset 5-2.
A little nubber out in front of the mound. Westfall will throw at Castile for out number 1.
Number 21, the right fielder, Trayvon Robinson.
So with 1 down in the 6th, brings up Trayvon Robinson. Nice running catch to end the 5th inning and save another run from York. On the night, Robinson 0 for 2. Now will bat from the right side and facing the left-hander Westfall.
Yep, struck out on the left side in the 2nd inning. And then he hit into a 1-3 in the 4th. And now, you're up 3-1. Your bullpen is in. You're going to be playing the rest of the game. You'd like to see if this team can get a little bit, maybe a couple of assurance runs. Take a little bit of stress off the bullpen. They still have 3 innings of work.
Has hit left-handed pitching better than right-handed pitching, albeit he has faced more right-handers. And he grounds that one to third. Easy play for Wilson. And Robinson is out number 2.
Now batting the left fielder, Keenan Walker.
So 2 quick outs for Luke Westfall. Brings up Keenan Walker, 0 for 2 on the night. Both teams with 4 hits. Strike 1 to Walker. Looking ahead to the game tomorrow, York will send right-hander Brooks Hall to the mound. Or, excuse me, Lancaster will send Brooks Hall to the mound. Line shot, backhanded by Silva, stays with it, turns and fires, and Burgess pulled off the bag. Boy, that ball was scorched.
And that was a tough call. Burgess was ready to head to the dugout. He thought they got him.
That's going to be rolled an infield single for Walker. Yeah, Burgess no doubt tried to sell it to first base umpire Doug McFarling by starting to head toward the dugout. But from this vantage point, it appeared he did pull him off the bag.
Yeah, I thought so a little bit. He made a nice stretch to try and get that ball in the glove, so kudos to him for that. But The leg can only reach so long before it comes off.
Yeah, so tomorrow, Brooks Hall for the Barnstormers, Jake Gauss for the Revs. First pitch, 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Eric and I will be with you again, hoping for some Sunday fun day.
Hopefully for some sun on a Sunday fun day.
Yeah, I think you're going to get rain.
That's
what they called for.
Well,
hopefully not.
It can rain up till about 11 o'clock and then stop.
That's true.
Till about 6. And again, more throws to first base.
Yeah. Is that the story of the night? Are you at all surprised with Severino? He stayed in through 5 innings. And he had a couple of different jams. His pitch control's a little off up.
They got Walker.
Yep.
Picked off the first. They got him in a rundown. 1-3, 1-3.
I'm done scoring
2.
this. Oh. Tried to
got
make
him
it.
on the tag.
What are you ruling that?
Oh, he got picked off.
No, well, yes. So is that just a CS or is that a 1-3?
Oh, no, that's I would think
4, 6, 3.
I think that's a caught stealing. 1-3, 1-3, 2. If I remember correctly. Don't count me on that.
Your memory is good. Jeez.
Again, I'm not sure. We don't have the luxury of instant replay either. So, but the inning ends on that pickoff. Nothing across for Lancaster. We have finished 6. 3-1 Lancaster Barnstormers on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Matt Marksberry stays in for his second inning of relief here in the top of the 7th inning.
You know, we have so much going on at the ballpark on Tuesdays. Now, this week we got that shrimp deal, the Hess Barbecue. Also, Taco Tuesdays for only $20. It's an all-you-can-eat tacos and game ticket plus $3 Corona beer special. And again, those tickets available always at the Two Dudes box office, also by calling 717-509-HITS every Tuesday. And this Tuesday opens up that series against the Sugarland Skeeters. That's going to be a fun one.
I don't know about you, but I could definitely get $20 worth of tacos.
I was thinking about the Coronas.
Well, you're in college.
No,
That's college.
23, it's all good. No, I like tacos too, though.
It is a good combination.
It is. It is. I swear, you know, you look at minor league sports, and when I look at baseball compared to the others, I grew up as a hockey guy. So I saw the Hershey Bears, the Reading Royals, the Philadelphia Flyers, and but when it comes to minor league sports, I don't think there's one that does promotions better than baseball. And I think the Barnstormers, seriously, excellent promotions.
Yeah. Silva fouls off the pitch to stay alive at no balls and 2 strikes. Silva 0 for 2, including a strikeout.
Now, I got to wonder, I'm still seeing some rain over here. Does that do anything for the fireworks?
No, I would think it's got to be really a downpour
to cancel him.
Yeah.
Okay, you see that? 32-mile-an-hour pitch. There's no way it's coming in at that.
Was that the toss maybe from the umpire to the pitcher?
I'm going to watch. I have to watch this. Okay, yeah, it was.
High pitch grounds it to Rico Noel, and Silva's retired for out number 1.
Who's using the radar gun to see what the umpires throw into the pitcher? Now, that one was 88, so that one made more sense.
Maybe just not getting a clean look. And Ross Peoples making his way to the mound. So we are going to have a pitching change for the Barnstormers here in the top of the 7th inning. We'll have that information for you when we return. 1 out in the top of the 7th, 3-1 Lancaster.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Kevin Munson, the new pitcher for the Lancaster Barnstormers, coming in with 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Munson, his last appearance coming on Wednesday at Southern Maryland. Munson, one of the guys returning to Lancaster from a season ago. Last year with the Barnstormers was 2-3 with a 3.343 earned run average. Did pick up 1 save. And he starts Ryan Dent with a ball. Jammed him, appeal, but Dent committed. I think Dent was just trying to lean out of the way, but the bat went forward.
Yeah. And, we talked earlier in this broadcast about some of the guys and the track records and stuff. Ryan Dent, he was a first-round pick back in 2007 by the Boston Red Sox. Never made it to the majors. Only played AAA, but first-rounder here in the Atlantic League. 12th year as a pro, 2nd year in the Atlantic League. He was with York when they won a championship a year ago. And it's 1-2 in the count to him.
A real good defensive shortstop as well.
And it's interesting because he's got the defense. He can hit a little. Maybe that's been his struggle, but I just think sometimes it's just this one little detail that separates a guy who's in the minors.
Tags this one to left field. Walker, a step or two in front of the warning track, puts it away for out number 2.
But it's just that one mechanic, that one thing that somebody else has that this guy doesn't, and he doesn't make it. It's the margin for error is so slim when it comes to that. Developing these guys. I mean, and then you have guys that are, for some reason one year they've got it all, and the next they don't. Think of MLB Michael Saunders. He was an all-star with the Toronto Blue Jays. Couldn't hit last year. He's struggling in AAA right now with the Norfolk Tides.
Tyler Clark takes outside for a ball. Clark 1 for 2 with a single. And again, to try and get to the majors, you think of all the different levels of baseball and all the different leagues.
Yeah.
That is quite a ladder to climb. And then you look at some of the young stars in Major League Baseball, you just goes to show you just how talented those guys are. And and the one guy that just keeps popping into my head is, down in Washington, Bryce Harper in a contract here, and already they're talking about him possibly being a $400 million contract in the not too distant future.
Yeah. And you think about it, and that's where you do look at all these guys that are, just as you mentioned, you're traveling through this. Single A, short season single A. You've got double A, triple A, independents, affiliated ball. I mean, you have a guy like that who's one of the best players in the world. I mean, and then you have other guys that are young. I mean, Bryce Harper's a couple, he's a few years into his career. Look at, Mookie Betts right now is in his second season. I mean, it just, these guys come out of nowhere. Roger Acuna Jr. with the Braves. By the way, Braves are losing pretty bad right now. They're down 9-2 against San Francisco.
Tyler Clark down on strikes. So the Revs go in order in the seventh inning stretch time here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's Lancaster 3, York 1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
You're totally probably safe to ride on your spare for 6, maybe 9 months?
Don't trust the wrong advice. Get the right tires at the right price right away. It's what we've been doing at Jack Williams Tire right here in Pennsylvania since our family started this business back in 1929. Because doing things the right way is just the Williams way. Get the right tires right now at jackwilliams.com.
Lancaster Bible College has been around since 1933, but did you know that they offer degrees in much more than just Bible? LBC offers degrees in criminal justice, business, professional counseling, and more, as well as graduate and seminary degrees in areas like Christian care, chaplaincy, education, and leadership studies. To learn more about LBC and the programs they offer, visit lbc.edu. That's lbc.edu.
Luke Westfall's in his second inning of relief here for the Revs, here in seventh inning stretch time.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's hear it for Absolute Twirling. Good job.
And for Lancaster, Vladimir Frias will lead off because he was at bat when Keenan Walker got picked off to end the sixth inning. So it'll be Frias, Noel, and Sanford. And we talk about the promotions that the Barnstormers are doing, food-wise. Pizza, pinball, and beer.
Oh, that's a good one.
Only $26. It's going to be every Monday and most Thursday home games. So for $26 plus tax, all you can eat pizza from Pat's, unlimited free play pinball, and beer for those 21 and older, of course, 6:30 to 8 p.m. in the Lexus RX Suite. Go to LancasterBarnstormers.com for ticket information. Frias looks at strike one.
And Frias, who last year had a couple of games, cup of coffee with the Reno Aces at the Pacific Coast League, so he has some AAA under his belt from 2017. Would love to get back there again. So far off to a terrific start this season.
Grounds it to the right side. Silva will throw out Frias for out number one.
Second baseman Rico Noel.
Yeah, the downside, if you want to call it the downside to this league, of course, is you get somebody that just tears it up, you're not going to see him here very long.
Mm-hmm.
They will get the call, which is, again, the intent of this league. This is for guys to move on to that next level.
And talking to, I know he's out this weekend, talking to Dave Collins, our broadcaster here, when I asked him about that, trying to learn things, he was telling me about conversations he's had with Ross, and he said, yeah, we know that. Our first goal is to get these guys moving up. Our second goal is to win a championship. And some fans may not want to hear that, but you have to think the well-being of each one of these players. They all want to make it to the highest level they possibly can. And you have to feel good for them when they do.
Check swing and the appeal. No swing, says Doug McFarlane. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rico Noel. And last year, there were numerous players that got tapped out of this Barnstormers system.
Yeah.
And you think about the record that they still put up with the number of players that they lost. It's incredible.
And just unfortunate, we talked about the record, they won 70-plus games and still no postseason. By the way, I know that we are streaming live on YouTube, and some do ask when or what the score is. It's the bottom of the 7th, 3-1 if you're just now tuning in. The Lancaster Barnstormers leading the Revs by 2.
Letter high for a strike. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, it looks like the rain went away. That's a positive.
Yeah, I don't see umbrellas.
No?
Well, fouls it out of play. He's been on base twice tonight. With a single to right center. It was an RBI single, and then a triple to lead off the 5th inning. So he has knocked in a run, and he has scored a run. Right now, looking at a 2-2 count. Off speed. And again, the appeal down to first. No swing.
I wonder if Noel got away with that one. I don't know if that bat went through the strike zone or not. That's a tough one.
And again, from this angle, without instant replay,
yeah.
I think not. I don't think he went.
Yeah.
That one's down and in, and Rico Noel on for the 3rd time tonight. Now, will Rico Noel be in motion?
I know Sanford will if he hits here, or he gets on.
Before getting called up last season, Rico Noel stole 34 bases for the Barnstormers. And like Sanford, despite getting called up, he still finished 5th in the league in stolen bases with 34 in 56 games.
Second walk issued, by the way, by Revs pitching tonight. 3 if you include the hit by pitch.
Yes.
Which Darian Sanford was a victim of. And then the last time he was on base, we had that long challenge between he and Severino, which Sanford won, got to second. Didn't come all the way around, though.
Well, obviously Westfall is thinking that Rico Noel might be off and running. Sanford swings away and fouls it straight back. Well, you got to think that if there's any time you want to push down a bunt, especially up the first baseline, this would be the time to do it.
Yeah, you got a guy on first that can run, a guy that can get to first from home right now.
And with a pitcher that falls to the third base side on his follow-through.
Right, exactly. Noel, by the way, 43 stolen bases last year when you include everything. It's not just Lancaster, but also his time in the Mexican League and the Pacific Coast as well. So, yeah, makes sense why he would look to run. Also why York would continue to just throw over. Fans are disgruntled, but that's baseball. Right? Am I wrong?
You're so blasé about it. Yeah, well, that's just the way it is.
That's just, things happen, guys.
The 0-1 is upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike on Darian Sanford. Don't forget Game 3 of this 3-game series tomorrow afternoon. First pitch 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you live on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We'll be on around 12:45, if I'm correct. So
while you're grabbing brunch, tune into Barnstormers baseball.
And if you're not listening to us, come out to the game if you can. You're within.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know that it's ideal day game weather, but you know what? Come out. Plus, on the positive side, just say worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. Gets rained out. Sometimes that ticket's good for a single admission doubleheader the next time they play.
You are the winner of the Trayvon Robinson autograph bat.
Don't know.
Please report to section number 11 and get your back from.
Let's see. York after this. Well, actually, York is off tomorrow as well.
You think they do it or Monday?
On Monday.
Is that a possibility? I mean, otherwise you're doing it in a couple weeks. 22nd through the 24th, there's a 3-game set.
Yeah.
That's an interesting call.
Yeah, that's for the higher-ups to decide.
We don't get a say? No.
I highly doubt it.
Well, the broadcasters said that they were thinking about doing it Monday, so we're just going to go with them. I know how this game works. Rarely involved in the decision-making process.
No, it's definitely to the fans' advantage if it gets pushed back to a doubleheader.
That's what I think. That's my psyche as a fan. I used to get excited when I'd get to, if I knew a game was going to get rained out, I had a ticket for it. It's getting a free game out of it.
Again, Noel kind of bluffing down there at first base. Last 2 times he has taken a couple of steps towards second, then stopped.
Yeah, now between Noel and Sanford, back-to-back full counts.
So definitely making Luke Westfall work here in this top of the 7th inning. 1 out, Noel at first base. There he goes. Pitches high and outside. Ball 4. So Noel will get the coast into second base as Sanford draws the walk. Back-to-back walks allowed by Westfall. And now Barnstormer runners at first and second for Tyler Portnick.
And nobody just yet warming up for the Revs bullpen. They've got a couple of guys standing, but I'm not seeing anybody begin to throw just yet. So I think this is Westfall's inning. They're going to come out and use a mound visit.
Looks like they have made the call to the bullpen.
Or maybe somebody already was warming up.
So a pitching change for the Revs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lancaster with 2 runners on. And we'll return to Clipper Magazine Stadium with a new pitcher right after this.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
Excuse me, are you saying localflavor.com?
Oh, yeah, it's where I save big bucks on all kinds of things. Home improvement projects, dining out, family fun, electronics, jewelry, clothing. I even bought my wife a fancy spa package for half price.
Half price?
Yep, you know all the deals you find in Clipper Magazine.
I love Clipper Magazine.
Well, they're all on localflavor.com, too. And you can get them right on your phone, thanks to localflavor.com's mobile app. Here, take a look.
Well, this app is amazing. Look at all these restaurants, amusement parks, car washes, fitness centers. This is worth sharing about.
Exactly. Localflavor.com online, the Local Flavor mobile app, and Clipper Magazine together. It's like a triple play.
Do the cheer again. I'm in.
Localflavor.com, local flavor. Come on, everybody! Localflavor.com, local flavor. Localflavor.com, local flavor.
New pitcher for the Revs is going to be right-hander Joe Van Meter, 6'2", 215-pound right-hander out of Richmond, Virginia. And the first one he will face is Tyler Bortnick. Bortnick with a sacrifice fly run batted in his last time up. That gave the Barnstormers a 3-1 lead, and another RBI opportunity here for Tyler Bortnick.
And a chance to do what we were talking about earlier, providing some run security for the pitching. The bullpen of the Barnstormers, they've got another guy up right now, Scott Schumann.
Runners go, pitches outside, throw to third, and he is safe all around. Noel looked as though at first he slid by the bag. Zach Wilson staying with it, but Manolo Alejandro said that Noel able to hold on to the bag, so a double steal. And Barnstormer runners now both in scoring position.
Yeah, a tough situation for a new pitcher to come into if you're York now.
Yeah. 1 ball and no strikes to Bortnick. Outside, 2-0. Van Meter returns for his second season with the Revs, his third in the Atlantic League. Last year, he pitched in 55 games, 54 of which were in relief, a 4-2 record, and a 2.75 earned run average. Two and 1 to Bortnick. More importantly, the opposition just hit 196 against Van Meter a season ago.
Well, I guess if you're going to have a guy who's used to those pressure situations, this is the guy maybe York wants to have out.
Bortnick is jammed, and he fouls it back to the screen.
That ball, now that one nearly cleared the screen. And then that would have been coming back. I think it would have landed in front of us a little bit, but...
Well, Dave informed me one did come up in here last summer, which, you know, you look at the angle and everything else of the net, you think it's...
pretty, I think you're safe back here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, you're safe, but it would take almost a perfect angle. Bortnick fouls that one off on the right side. Count holds, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rico Noel at third base, Darian Sanford at second. Lancaster trying to add to their 3-1 lead here in the 7th inning. Strike 3 called. Bortnick down on strikes. Bortnick either not happy with the call or not happy that he didn't swing, but either way, he is out number 1.
7th strikeout for Revs pitching in this game, and that was a big one. You know, you at least maybe push the ball out to the outfield, get a sac fly, and score a run in, and that's not going to be the option now. Blake Galen has to either walk a hit or make contact here without getting an out.
First pitch goes wide for ball 1. Galen 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. On the inside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. So with that walk in the first inning, Galen has now reached safely in all 9 games now. And he's been on base 20 times in those 9 games. Looking for a pitch to drive here. Try and get at least 1 run home. With the speed on the bases, a single could score 2. Taps it foul.
Fans, if you have entered to win a game 1 Donegal hat or Hershey Truck tickets,
2 balls, 2 strikes on Blake Galen.
At section number 7, and see if your ticket has been drawn. Once again, that's section number 7.
Nate Reed, a very solid 5 innings of work here tonight for the Barnstormers. Only giving up 3 hits, 6 strikeouts and a walk.
Yeah, I was a little surprised when they didn't keep him in there for the 6th, to be honest with you. I thought he was rolling through. But it's early in the season, so maybe the science behind that is trying to get everybody some reps, trying to get your bullpen guys some action.
True.
Then again, though, you'd think on, to play devil's advocate to my own statement, would you want to preserve the guys for tomorrow because you got a quick turnaround with a day game?
That pitch goes wide. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And glancing at the scorebook, it didn't appear that Nate Reed threw a lot of pitches.
No.
We didn't have that pitch count.
Yeah. I mean, what would you guess? He was through 5, maybe 70, around the neighborhood of that? 50s, or, well, not 50. I'd say he was at least in the 60s.
Oh, there's a drive deep to right field. Blake Galen clear a ball. 3-run shot for Galen, and it is now 6-1 Lancaster.
There's the insurance runs we talked about. That was a big swing from Blake Galen, a full count. 3 of the last 4 batters Van Meter took on was a full count. Barnstormers take advantage. And now 6-1 Lancaster, bottom of the 7th. That ball was crushed.
No doubt about it. Galen with his first home run of the season. And it's a 6-1 ball game. And here is Joey Tardaslovich. Fouls off the first pitch.
Batter for the game, the first baseman, Joey Tardaslovich.
'72 home runs now as a Barnstormer. 55 of those have come here at Clipper Magazine Stadium for Blake Galen. Tardaslovich pops it up. Ryan Dent backpedaling. Will camp under it, make the catch. And that will end the inning, but not before the Barnstormers tack on 3 more with the Blake Galen 3-run shot. We move to the 8th inning. It's the Barnstormers 6, the Revs 1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
Enjoy a weeknight with the Barnstormers and leave with your wallet largely intact. Come on out on Munchie Mondays for all you can eat nachos, dogs, fries, popcorn, and soda for 2 hours. Or how about Koozie Tuesdays, where fans of legal age can enjoy $2 domestic drafts from 6:30 to 8. Bring your dog on Wiener Wednesdays and enjoy delicious dollar dogs as well. Or on Thrifty Thursday, popcorn is just $1, sodas are $2, and lawn seats are only $3. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Okay, John, shelves are stocked.
So are the new Fast Play games from the Pennsylvania Lottery. Just pick your game, get your ticket, and see if you've won.
Like word search, with top prizes of 20 grand.
Yep, winning's never been faster.
Not faster than me clearing these shelves.
Dude, I hope you're even faster at restocking.
Yeah.
Fast Play. Play fast, win instantly. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Well, Ross Peoples going to go back to the bullpen again for the 3rd time tonight. He's going to go with right-hander Scott Schumann, the big 6'3", 225-pound right-hander out of Valdosta, Georgia.
And he's back with the Barnstormers again. Last year he was here, but a lot of health issues for Schumann. Struggled to stay healthy a year ago. Getting a chance to get some work in tonight, and I have to wonder, with the team up by 5 runs, and as I mentioned, perhaps an idea for Ross Peoples to preserve the bullpen tomorrow. Maybe Schumann goes the 8th and 9th inning, and he's your long arm for now.
Well, last season he was 3-1. He appeared in 62 ball games, earned run average of 2.91. 58 and 2/3 innings, and he struck out 73.
and at least one batter in 22 consecutive appearances.
So he's going to throw the heat.
Yeah, when he was healthy, he was good.
Top of the order for the Revs, Mitchell, Witherspoon, and Wilson here in the 8th inning. First pitch inside, ball 1. Mitchell, 0 for 2 with a walk. Pops it up. Castillo will turn and watch it go back into the seats.
Oh, took a big bounce. To our left in section 14.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jared Mitchell.
Everybody look okay? Yep.
Can't really tell from here, but I'll tell you what. Kudos to the ushers here at Clipper Magazine Stadium. When there's an incident,
Yeah, they walk right over.
they are like bees to honey.
Yeah. I think they're okay. I saw them walk over, a couple of them actually, just to make sure everybody's all right.
Well, and the thing you got to remember, the people down low, when there's one that goes up above,
yep,
so many times the little carry them off and come ricocheting back down. So you really have to be paying attention.
Can't tell you how many times I've seen that at Citizens Bank Park. The ball bounces around the Hall of Fame club and it bounces right back down and clunk.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Jared Mitchell here in the top of the 8th inning. Got him. High and outside pitch.
Said he was going to strike out some guys, right?
Yeah. Schumann picks up his first strikeout. And that brings Travis Witherspoon to the plate. So York 4 hits through 7 1/3 innings. So their batting struggles continue. As I mentioned in the pregame, coming into the game tonight as a team hitting .240, which was second to last in the Atlantic League.
Yeah, well, they have 9 strikeouts right now collectively. That's over 4 different Barnstormers pitchers. So when you're striking out that much in a game, that's probably part of your problem, I'd imagine.
No, that's why this was an ideal situation for Lancaster to try and tack on a win here tonight. You get a win here tonight, go for a sweep tomorrow and get some mojo going into that showdown
Absolutely.
with Sugar Land beginning on Tuesday.
Absolutely. This would be their 5th win in a row, as it's 0-2 to Witherspoon right now. Top of the 8th inning, Barnstormers up 6-1, thanks to last inning's heroics from Blake Galen, a 3-run shot in right field.
Witherspoon fouls it back. Count holds, no balls, 2 strikes. And you could see in that last at bat from Galen, too, last inning, that he was fouling off pitches and then just waiting, and then he jumped on it.
Yeah.
Oh, 2, and again to the heater, and Witherspoon down on strikes.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Schumann, 10 strikeouts for Lancaster Barnstormers pitching in this game. And going back to what you were talking about with Galen's 3-run homer, that was a pressure at bat. You have runners on second and third, 2 outs. When you get guys on like that, you hate to see runners in scoring position. Those numbers are big across baseball, how well teams do with runners in scoring position. And often that dictates, those are the teams that do well in those are the teams you see in the postseason.
So 2 down in the inning, and Wilson goes after the first offering and lifts it into shallow center. Sanford puts it away, and Scott Schumann's got a 1-2-3 8th inning. We move to the bottom of the 8th at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Barnstormers 6, Revs 1 on the Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel.
We can't help but always want more, especially on the road. More horsepower. Heightened handling. Elevated design. Get more out of your drive with a Lexus IS. Bold styling, track-tuned handling, available 311 horsepower. Experience the exhilaration of the IS 350 and IS 300. Available in F-Sport and all-wheel drive. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
Enjoy weekends with the Barnstormers all season long. Every Friday evening home game will feature a different giveaway ranging from t-shirts to beach towels to backpacks. On Saturdays, enjoy the best entertainment doubleheader there is with Barnstormers baseball followed by fireworks. Sundays are fun days at the ballpark. Get autographs from some of your favorite Barnstormers players and play catch on the field before the game. Once the game is over, it's a Domino's Pizza Kids base run. Call 717-509-HITS to order your tickets or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. And we'll see you at the ballpark.
Well, the Revs going to go to their bullpen once again. New pitcher for York is Junior Rincon, a 6'2", 185-pound right-hander. So Revs now with their third pitcher out of the pen tonight. So Joe Van Meter, 2/3 of an inning. Now, he's only charged one of those runs, and that was to Galen. The other two went to Westfall, who had walked Noel and Sanford. So Westfall with an inning and a third of work, 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned. Van Meter, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a run, and it was earned. So Rincon to start it this inning for the Revs.
By the way, I guess I was wrong. I don't think Schumann's going to finish up. Matt Reynolds up for the 9th. He is the team's closer. And a little bit more on him. Assuming we do see him come up, that's the expectations as we are in the bottom of the 8th. And as Eric May already pointed out, 6-1 Lancaster. Up by 5 runs is what you wanted to see, pulling away a little late here. In what, for the most part, I think has been a good game, but a quiet one at that. Not a whole lot going on.
Yeah, just a couple of big blips on the screen as far as some runs. Castile with a drive to right field, but right at Jared Mitchell for out number 1. Castile was the guy that got it started with a solo home run in the second inning. The first of 2 home runs on the night for the Barnstormers.
So here's a guy, Trayvon Robinson's so good. You'd like to see him get on track right now. 0 for 3 with a strikeout tonight. Try to get one in here. Everybody's going to have an off night here or there, but be nice. He's batting .333 on the year. Keep that average up.
It was after the first offering and misses. 0-1 on Robinson. Junior Rincon is 6th pro season, first in the Atlantic League this year. Last year, he had split time between Double-A and High A in the Braves organization. That one bounces in, 1 ball, 1 strike. Lancaster with 6 hits in the ball game and 6 runs, so they have made him count. Breaking ball, missing outside, 2-1. Two and two now on Trayvon Robinson, who had spent 6.5 years with the Dodgers. Also went to Seattle and Baltimore before returning to the Dodgers in 2014. And then in 2015, split time between Detroit and Arizona. So he has traveled around.
Yeah. As have many minor league baseball players at this point, right? It's crazy. It really is.
Such the life of a minor league baseball player.
I guess so. And to the fan that thinks, oh, he's a professional ball player, he gets paid to do what he loves, or he gets paid to play a sport. Well, that's not the fun part of the sport.
Yeah.
I imagine it can't be, It's It's like when you move into a new apartment, you have to keep half your bags packed just in case. I mean, I couldn't imagine.
Fouls it off to stay alive at 3-2. Now Robinson has made it to the major leagues, as I mentioned, up in 2011. His first career hit, a single off Jared Weaver, and then the next night got his first home run off of Tyler Chatwood. He draws a walk. But really, the shining moment for Robinson was that he was the left fielder when Felix Hernandez threw a perfect game on August 15th, 2012.
Man.
Against Tampa Bay.
I feel like everybody a part of that, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a part of one of those.
So Robinson, a one-out base runner. Here is Keenan Walker. Walker 1 for 3 on the night. Takes low ball 1. That walk to Robinson was the third walk allowed by Rebs pitching tonight. Down and in, 2-0. Lancaster with a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And credit the whole team tonight, because I know they didn't put the numbers up that they did last night, but pitch selection and at-bats have been very good. I think there's been a lot of them that, you know, you've seen a couple of guys swing at the first pitch as that one's fouled back off the plate. But, you know, we've seen, especially in these last couple of innings, a lot of full counts, a lot of balls being fouled off, and these guys are battling at the plate, and Ross has to love that. And his team does too. You know, they're an inning away from, they're 3 outs away from their 5th win. They'll push them to 6-3, 5th consecutive win, I should say, and they'd be pushed to 6-3 on the season.
Strike on the inside corner. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And yeah, again, looking down at the scorebook, not a lot of, if really any, bad at bats.
No, and very rarely did we see guys swing at the first pitch. Here we go, another full count. How many full counts have we had through 6 through 8 innings here for the Barnstormers? Got to be a few here. Last inning there were 3. Excuse me, I believe 4. No, 3. This inning, this is the 2nd in a row, so that's 5. And now it's going to go beyond that. 7th pitch of the at-bat as Keenan Walker fouling this one away. Those professional at-bats you look for.
Yeah, so this is the 6th. Yeah, Lancaster's definitely made the Rebs pitchers work at it tonight. There goes Robinson. There's a shot to the gap.
I might have a chance.
That's going to go back to the wall. Robinson is going to turn at third. He is going to score easily. A stand-up double for Keenan Walker, and it's now 7-1 Lancaster.
Big reason that happened is because Trayvon Robinson started stealing second, so he had a big leap there. And when that ball was hit, splitting the gap, you had a feeling that maybe he could go. And another mound visit being used. This time, pitching coach not coming out. This is just a discussion between Junior Rendon and Luis Cruz. As Frias is up to bat with a runner on second and a 6-run lead for the Barnstormers now, bottom of the 8th. 7 hits, 7 runs. Lancaster's got to be feeling good. And, you know, this game, you see 7 runs. Doesn't feel like it's been an offensively explosive game, but once again, I mean, this team is just drilling in runs. Now 42 in their last 5 games.
That's a nice average.
That is a nice, yeah, that is a nice average. You think they're going to keep that up all season?
Well, again, you know, not to look beyond tomorrow, but that next series against the Sugar Land Skaters, who are in first place. Lancaster 2.5 games behind Sugar Land coming into play tonight.
Yeah, so by the end of this homestand, they could be in first.
What's the update with Sugar Land tonight?
Bottom of the 6th, they are down 5-3 against Somerset. Also, New Britain up 7-1 on the Road Warriors. That game's just about over going into the 9th. Southern Maryland, a 5-5 dual lock with the Long Island Ducks in the 8th inning, top of the 8th. So that's your scoreboard update.
3 balls, no strikes on Vladimir Frias. 1 for 3 on the night. He's also picked up a stolen base.
Now, Junior Rendon has been he's been fighting a lot of the batters here. He's struggled a bit at command on that fastball, and you're seeing now how many balls have been thrown at the pitchers or at the batters. And that's another walk.
And he loses Frias.
Yeah, on 4 pitches.
So a rough inning for Rincon after he got Castile to fly out to start the inning. Walked Robinson. Walker with an RBI double, and he walks Frias. Here is Rico Noel.
And again, you know, I think for the York Revolution at this point, you're kind of looking at the scoreboard a little bit. You hate to throw in the towel, but you know, nobody's up in the bullpen. This is Renton's inning.
First pitch to Noel, missing outside, ball 1. Rico's had a good night. He's been on base all 3 times. Single, triple, and a walk. Scored 2, knocked in 1. When you get that out of your number 9 hitter,
yeah, absolutely.
That's a nice bookend to a very solid lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. Noel has been good. Really, the whole team has been well. Like I know I said a couple of things. Well, this one's going to be popped up.
Shallow center field. Witherspoon coming on. He will make the catch for out number 2. And it's back to the top of the order.
What I was saying is, there's been a couple of guys, Trayvon Robinson, Trdoslovic, hasn't had the best of games, but even Trdoslovic, he battled through a lot of his at-bats. He had an 8-pitch at-bat earlier where he ended up striking out. That was back in the first inning. So, these guys have been working hard, and I think, you're not going to hit every single game, right? I mean, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Although tell Darian Sanford you're not going to steal a base every game, and he might disagree with you.
Fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. And it keeps going back to what he had said in that pregame interview, too, is the fact that, even if one guy is having an off night, the guy behind him will pick him up. So, yeah, the fact that all 9 guys are going to get hits in a game, not going to happen. It's what you do with the guys that do pick up the hits.
And you have to think this team's feeling hot right now. They got to be feeling it. They're scoring boatloads of runs right now. So, yeah, okay, not all 9 batters are getting hits, but, 7 of them do have them.
Breaking ball over for strike 3. Sanford didn't like it as it ends the inning. But the Barnstormers pick up another run on the RBI double from Keenan Walker. We move on to the 9th inning, and Lancaster looking to shut the door as they lead it 7-1.
Learn from the pros right here in Lancaster. The Lancaster Barnstormers are offering 2 3-day-long youth clinics this summer with instruction on pitching, hitting, fielding, and base running. Each session, led by veteran professional players, will last from 9 until noon with lunch to follow. Choose from June 19th to 21st or July 24th to 26th. So learn what it takes to succeed on the field and off. Call the Barnstormers office at 717-509-HITS or go to LancasterBarnstormers.com. Space is limited. Act now.
Introducing the all-new Lexus RX 350L, designed for room. Room for a power-folding 3rd row. Room for up to 7. And room for the unexpected. The 3-row RXL. It's the RX with room for more. Experience the innovative RXL and RXL Hybrid. See Bobby Rahal Lexus in Mechanicsburg.
RX 450HL arriving spring 2018.
Well, Ross Peoples will go to the bullpen yet one more time here tonight. And it'll be left-hander Matt Reynolds, 6'5", 240-pounder.
And a guy with 221 MLB games to his name. A lot of time with the Colorado Rockies, as well as some with the Diamondbacks. And the second time around with Lancaster was with the team back in 2016.
Yeah, kind of in that stretch run for Lancaster. Pitched well. 15 in the third innings in 19 appearances, only gave up one walk.
Also had 8 games with the San Francisco Giants later that year. Last year he was in AAA with Sacramento in the Pacific Coast League.
Michael Burgess leading it off, and he lifts the 1-1 pitch high into the infield. Vladimir Frias with the squeeze for out number 1.
The top of the ninth inning is sponsored by Caldwell Banker and the Jim Engler team. Top of the ninth.
Well, what a job by the Lancaster bullpen, though, tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
One hit now, over 3 in the third innings.
Yeah, this team's going to need the whole 9 yards when the early goings. It's hard to gauge what a full season will look like. I like the fact that the Atlantic League does that half-season point where you get a team in, because you just don't know how many guys are going to go and get their contracts bought. But, an early indication would say to you, as it's 0-2 in the count to Cruz, an early indication would say to you that, the Skeeters are a darn good team. And, the Barnstormers look to be that too. It's going to be competitive, and it's really going to be interesting, assuming that the Skeeters lose tonight.
That one's lifted into center field. Easy play for Darian Sanford, and there are 2 down.
So assuming the Skeeters lose tonight and the Barnstormers win, you're a game back now. So things get a little interesting.
Game and a half.
So, definitely a chance for first place. And it is early into the season, especially in baseball. But I don't believe there's ever, I don't believe in ever looking, well, it's early, we're in first. Like, no, be happy anytime you get that and control it.
Well, agreed. I mean, if first pitch to Tabata, swing and a miss. Tabata 0 for 3 on the night. Yes, despite being early, but the thing is, would you rather be the hunted or the hunter?
Agreed. Yes. 0-2. Well, right now, Tabata is being hunted. He's down to 1 pitch. Strike away from this game being over.
The 0-2, down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lifted into shallow center. Again, it's right at Sanford. And he will squeeze it to end the inning and the ball game, and another 1-2-3 inning for the Lancaster bullpen. So the Barnstormers continue their winning ways. That is now 5 in a row for the Barnstormers. We'll step aside and be back with a recap and a final look at the out-of-town scoreboard as we return to Clipper Magazine Stadium. It's Lancaster Barnstormers Baseball YouTube channel.
Like craft beers, local wines? Well, the best place to be in Lancaster then is Clipper Magazine Stadium. That's right, all new for 2018 is the Broken Bat deck down the right field line. The Broken Bat will feature more than 20 local craft breweries and product from 2 local wineries. If something with a little more kick is your adult beverage of choice, a local distillery is part of the Broken Bat as well. Food will be sold off a pub-style menu, so get together, hang out with your friends, make some new ones, and enjoy a night of craft beer sampling along with a Barnstormers game.
AMT Concerts presents Rock at the Park Festival, Saturday, July 21st, featuring sets from Fuel, Eve 6, Sister Hazel, Long Beach Dub All-Stars, Fastball, and more. Rock at the Park, Saturday, July 21st, at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Lancaster. Tickets on sale now at rockatthepark.com.
Back at Clipper Magazine Stadium, Eric May, Andrew Mossbrooks, a 7-1 Barnstormer win to make it 5 in a row. Before we get to the recap, Andrew, why don't you give us a rundown here of the out-of-town scoreboard?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, going back to the Atlantic League, last time we checked, it was 5-3 Somerset over the Sugar Land Skeeters. That looks to be a 7-3 lead now. It's been increased in the top of the 6th inning. Somerset with a couple of runs to tack on. Sugar Land 7-0 as it is right now. That could be coming to a close. Also, still bottom of the 8th, Southern Maryland and the Long Island Ducks. Ducks are up to bat right now because that game is in Bethpage Ballpark in Long Island. It's a 5-5 game there. Could be going to extras. Also, the Road Warriors in New Britain Stadium, and the Bees are buzzing right now, as are a lot of teams on the Road Warriors. It's unfortunate, but it's true. 7-1 New Britain. That game is final. Also, we want to take a look at a couple of MLB scores. Again, earlier today, the Philadelphia Phillies with a 3-1 win over the Washington Nationals. Detroit Tigers just having a final just moments ago, 3-2 over the Kansas City Royals. How about the New York Yankees? Man, they are red hot after starting out so-so. 5-2 win over the Cleveland Indians. Also some National League news. It's the top of the 9th. The Colorado Rockies are still up 1-0. Yeah, I got to see if... Is there just one pitcher? I'm just curious. Nope, 7 innings pitched by Chad Bettis. 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, so not a lot of strikeouts. Adam Ottavino is up right now for the Rockies, trying to shut out the Mets, who are 17-13 right now. Marlins up 3-0 over the Cincinnati Reds. Braves are down 10-2 against the San Francisco Giants. That game's in the top of the 8th. And maybe a couple of other relevant scores if you're interested. Dodgers over Padres 4-3. Pirates, Brewers, bottom of the 7th. It's tied 1-1. Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's, top of the 2nd. No score there.
All right, final line score here tonight. Lancaster, 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. They left 6 runners on base. For York, 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, 5 runners left on. The win goes to Nate Reed. He is 2-0 on the season. Dominic Severino takes the loss for the Rebs. He drops to 0-1. Again, can't say enough about this Barnstormer bullpen. 4 innings of relief, give up 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, and no walks.
Yeah, pitching all together. I mean, Nate Reed, first off, he goes 5 innings. Maybe you think he's going to go a little deeper than that, but what he gave you in those 5 innings was absolutely terrific. 6 strikeouts for him alone, 10 altogether from the Barnstormers, and you mentioned it. Bullpens are going to be huge, especially down the stretch. It's very early in. We're kind of just throwing numbers that maybe in the grand scheme of things don't mean the world, but when your bullpen can come in and deliver 1-hit baseball through 4 innings of play, you're doing something right. And, of course, once more, 7 runs by this team. They are hot. Everybody is feeling it. Winning is contagious, and the Barnstormers have now won 5 straight. They've guaranteed the series win, and they look to sweep the Revs tomorrow afternoon.
And indeed, that series will wrap up tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Brooks Hall, the right-hander, takes the mound for the Barnstormers against Jay Gauss for the Revs. He also is a right-hander. Both pitchers, no record on the season. Barnstormers did get 2 home runs tonight. Ryan Castile, a solo shot in the 2nd inning. And then Blake Galen, the big blow, a 3-run shot in the 7th to give them some extra padding and come away with that 7-1 win. So that'll do it tonight from Clipper Magazine Stadium. We hope you will join us again tomorrow. Pregame getting underway at 12:45. First pitch, 1 o'clock here on Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. So for Andrew Mossbrooks, I'm Eric May. Thanks for joining us. We hope we'll talk to you tomorrow Lancaster wins it here tonight, 7-1 over the York Revolution. Thanks for joining in Lancaster Barnstormers YouTube channel. Good night, everybody.